Don't
Pretty much
answer.
exactly what it sounds like.
Damn it.
I don't know what grovel is. What is
What an
grovel?
intro.
It's
Oh fuck. Sorry.
they're all basically synonyms for each other. Groveling, cowering, and begging are all very similar.
So, welcome to a game of Cobalt Tactics.
Ah,
No, we're doing an adventure of 5e D&D with the Unnamed Adventures Guilds. I'm going to be running this morning's game. We'll introduce everyone first as they're kind of lingering, strangely later than they normally would at the guild. Starting with Alex, and then we'll move to our right.
hi everybody. I'm Alex Blanco. Alex number 2. Yeah, no, that drill. I will be playing Mika Hopebringer. She is a level 3 Kobold Paladin, Oath of the Ancients. She is incredibly peppy and very energetic and very full of life. She's a paladin of Bahamut. She's all about spreading love and joy and happiness and keeping the light in the world that we kind of need right now. So yeah, it's kind of her goal.
All right, and Beandar or Razbean, whichever you want to answer yourself to. Well,
He's muted on both.
I know.
Let's just get back to
Yeah. So Del.
Okay. Hi, I'm Del. I'll be playing Lyra. She's a level 5 glamour bard, and she's kind of fabulous. She's probably hanging out in the Unnamed Adventurers Guild right now, just sort of lounging in her literally golden Jeff Goldblum dress, just trying to figure out how to wear this thing and not fall down. She's doing a great job, kind of.
All right, and Sandra.
Hey, my name's Sandra, and I'm going to be playing Maggie Melody. She's a human girl, pretty average, pretty regular. She comes from a gypsy family, and she's a level 3 lore bard, and has just received a DOS loot, and is basically probably sitting in the guild hall or somewhere where she doesn't bother a lot of people, and just spending her time with her new instrument, getting more used to it, and also improvising a song about how the huge giant flying castle fell down into the sky in tragic and magic events.
All right, Razbean.
Okay. Name's Bender. Playing Razbean Tea Leaf, Halfling Lightfoot, and he's a rogue arcane trickster, also working on becoming a wizard, and right now having some issues with the vampire queen.
All right. So the four of you are doing a. All of you are kind of doing a late round. You're not feeling particularly sleepy tonight. So close to 11 that night. And Razbean, you know this is out of place, though the others not. Lyra was there for the last one. So she would know this is out of place, but is strangely becoming more common as you hear knocking on the mercenary entrance.
I go and kind of. Is there like any peek holes or windows around there, or is it just the door?
There is, but you're kind of too short to look through it.
I pull up a chair and climb up to look out the door.
Okay, you look out the window, the small little glass pane window, and you see somebody standing beside it. He's pretty tall. You can see his neck, but you can't really see his face. He seems to be holding some sort of letter.
What can I do here for?
He says, I have a letter to deliver. You didn't answer the door last time, so you're not really familiar with it. But
No.
his voice sounds tone deaf and emotionless.
Raz climbs down. Seems legit enough, normal job stuff. So he cracks open the door and looks at the somewhat tall person.
Okay. He looks down to you, and his eyes are blank, and he says, delivery for you. And he just points this letter towards you.
Rasputin takes it a little bit nervous, just considering he's actually seen that blank stare before.
It's
And
not the same as the lady that was dominated in the bathhouse.
oh, okay.
The bathhouse lady had dilated eyes, and they still had color. But even though she was seemingly oblivious to the surrounding areas, he is aware of what's going on for the most part. His eyes are glossed over and white, and he seems to be incredibly focused.
Okay. So either way, he's still nervous considering the situation that's been going on lately. And he goes, is there anything else I can do for you before he shuts the door on the guy?
He says, I'm just here to make sure that you read it.
Fine. And he not maliciously, he carefully opens it and holds it at a distance just in case there's something with it.
Okay. You open it up. You using like a knife, or are you just opening it up with your hands?
Just carefully opening up hands.
Okay. You are kind of pulling on the seal wax, and you notice that it's not, it doesn't break apart like hard wax would. It kind of just like stretches apart, and wax would do that if it was still hot, but it's not. And once you kind of pry the what you know is blood dripping onto the letter after you kind of plop the middle of it open, you are kind of a little disturbed because you've been on one of these missions before and you know what it might entail. And the letter inside just gives you a brief description and saying, I need you to meet me at this place. I have found one of my soldiers on display, and I would need help retrieving him. And it signs the Blood Lord. And on the back behind the letter, there is a map that shows you where you need to go.
All right.
It's not the museum. It seems to take you to a museum, although it's not openly public. It's more of a private museum. It does have kind of open displays that people can see into, but they don't allow you in.
All right. And is that public knowledge that you can't get in there normally?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy's still there, right?
No,
The
once you start opening it, he just leaves on his own.
God dang it. All right. So I look at the map to make sure that it's not going into the house or the building itself. See if it's got like a different compartment we're supposed to go to, considering we went in the wrong way the last time. And I don't want to piss off another person. We're going in the wrong way. So do I notice anything on the map that indicates exactly where we're supposed to meet the person at?
It just seems to be behind the private museum.
Okay. I will keep a mental note of that. Behind
I mean, you can keep the map if you want.
Yeah, I am. Okay. All right. So I turn around and see if anybody else is in the hall and wanting to go on this field trip with us.
Mika's trying to find cool ways to easily put her rapier in her scabbard in one swoop. Just like, no, missed it.
Okay.
Mika, you look a little bored over there.
No, I'm not.
Want to go on a field trip?
Yes.
All right. Now, just letting you know, last time this one was pretty dangerous.
It's all right. Danger's my middle name. It's not. It's not at all. I think it's like Dawnbringer or something like that, but it's not.
I hope blood doesn't bother you.
Yeah. It's okay. As long as it's the blood of bad people.
Oh, they're bad.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay.
Can I see?
so-
Can I just look around and see anyone else around here who's like in my immediate vicinity?
Yeah, Lyra and Maggie are there.
She doesn't
You
know
do
Maggie,
see,
but she,
You see a couple older members as well. You're not sure if they've been there a long time. They just look old.
Are they still boning?
oh, what?
Yeah, they're still playing with their bone dice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was about to say.
What?
She's gonna turn around and see Lyra, and then she's just gonna yell, "Red!" She's just gonna jump on her.
Oh, Blue, I haven't seen you in age.
I know. How have you been?
Oh, I've been wonderful. Darling, how do you like the dress?
Oh my goodness, you look fabulous!
I know.
Hey, so Razbean says that we have a mission that we can go on. Do you want to come?
A midnight mission.
Yeah.
Razbean, how did you get
Yeah.
this midnight mission?
You didn't hear the door?
No, I was playing my lyre.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's the same guy that got us a couple weeks ago.
Did the messenger have really, really blank eyes and look like they were charmed or something?
Yeah, he kind of looked like a Frankenstein.
Oh, good. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm not wearing this dress for that. Give me a moment.
Oh, but it's so pretty.
Oh, darling, this dress is a little bit heavy. And I'll like pull it off, like right there. I'm
Ah.
still wearing like underclothes and stuff, but that's about it. And I'll just like hand it to Mika.
And she
It's
falls
made of-
down.
Yeah.
Like when you put a towel on a dog.
Yeah,
Ah.
but it is very heavy.
Oh.
Yeah, it probably weighs somewhere around 20 pounds.
Oh,
She
she's
just
down.
drops on you and you just flop on the ground.
Mika, are you Lyra?
Hold that for me, darling. I'm just gonna change.
So you just see the ruffling underneath. I'm stuck. No.
Yeah, Lyra didn't wait around. She started to like go to her room to grab her other clothes.
Mika's trying to escape and not succeeding.
She'll come back and be like, "Oh, darling, is he still stuck under there? I thought I told you to come with me."
Well, you know, circumstances.
All right, hold on. Ugh. All right, I'm just gonna put this away for now.
I can breathe.
I'm kind of hoping you could lift more than 20 pounds.
She's not like pitiful. It's just 10 strength. But the fact that she weighs like 30 pounds is not does
Be
not
like an ant. Lift like 10 times your own weight.
That was funny.
It was an experience. It was very gold.
Yes, well, The sacrifices you make for fashion sometimes.
I think I got what's the thing called? Stuck in my mouth. The thing. Sequence. That's it.
Oh, thank you, darling. I'll need to put that back on.
Uh-oh, Sandra's taking a call.
Yeah.
Hey, you! Come along with us! And she'll just point at Maggie.
So we'll just say that until she gets back, that Maggie's with you.
Okay. We like taking newbies.
She's not new. She went on an expedition recently.
Do any of us have any of us met her before? I don't think I have.
I haven't either.
She was there for when she first showed up. She was there for about a day. But after that, she was pretty much immediately whisked away.
Oh, okay.
Like she went. I'm not sure if she came back from the teleportation circle, but she was on the expedition at least.
Yeah.
So you end up going to the craftsman part of town, craftsman section of the city, and it doesn't take Razbean very long to lead you guys through this kind of. It's actually pretty shady, and you notice that there's like a few front guards that are kind of like looking around in front of this place. The building is not small. It's I would say it's about a medium-sized building, not too extravagant enough to kind of stay quiet, but not too big where it's in everyone's way and it's up front.
Okay. I look to Lyra and go, this time, according to the map, we're supposed to go around back and meet him out back. I'm not going in the building this time at first. Because that was a bad idea.
While we've been walking here, since we were walking with Razbean, I've been trying to keep my eye out for any bats following us.
Okay. Roll me a perception.
This never works out well. Yeah, still didn't work out well. 5.
Mika's next to you playing a flute. You're distracted.
Yeah, you're distracted by the lights. Every time you're kind of looking around to see things, the glares of the lamps on the walls kind of distract you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, do we have to go around like another fence or something, or is this something we can just walk around behind the back of this building without?
There's just an alley that you can walk into.
All right. I want to look down the alley first just to make sure that I don't see anything weird or than normal.
Without any assistance from light, in the back alley, you see this kind of robed figure.
Okay. So,
Lyra,
Yes, Mika.
this is really sketchy.
Oh, just wait. This is nothing.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. She's just gonna put her hand on her hilt. Just like this is oh no.
alrighty. Rasmin slowly walks up towards the shady figure.
Okay. Do you have dark vision?
I do not.
Well, do you have some ability to produce light?
If I cast dancing lights, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's dark in here, so you can't really perceive any color.
Okay.
All you can tell with the little light that's in the alley is that there is a body standing near him, and he's turning to look at you.
Did you want some light, Razbean?
That'd be helpful.
Pull out Lantern of Daylight.
So you're gonna just use that on the street?
A beacon.
No, I'm gonna pass it to him. I haven't I'll walk like 2 feet in, hold it out, and be like, "You get to come back to me."
Okay, so you give him the beacon and you tell him.
Yeah, Razbean goes back and is there? Cause you know how certain lanterns have the ability to kind of like focus the light by opening up a little bit. Does the lantern have that ability?
No, and it hasn't
Okay.
been tinkered with to do otherwise.
That's like a bullseye lantern, right?
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Okay, so I go ahead and now is it already on or do I have to turn it on? Because I've never messed with one of these.
You have to use a command word.
Hey,
For
Lyra?
sake, I'll just assume she told you.
Yeah. How do you turn this thing on?
You just use this command word that Michael never told me, so I'll just make one up. Hag.
I like it. And he holds it in front of him and goes, Hag! And kind of doesn't yell it, but kind of says it kind of in
Whisper
a,
yell.
yeah. And pointing it towards the figure.
Stage whisper.
So I'm
All right.
assuming the light's on and now pointing at the strange person.
Okay, you're doing as much as you can to point the light towards him, and you point it out, and you can, with the color and the light, you can tell it's the Blood Lord. He's just looking at you. He kind of looks like this white flower that is blooming downwards, and he's got red trims on the edges of his furls. He's standing there, looking at you quietly. You're not that close to him, so he's just keeping quiet.
All right. Well, Razbean would recognize him, and he's kind of not perturbed with what happened after the whole thing, but he wants to speak to the guy or the Lord about the Pale Queen and the fact that she visited him. So Razbean's gonna get kind of close, but not too close. You know, kind of safe distance away, at least what he thinks, and goes, "Sir, thought you said we weren't gonna have a problem with the Pale Queen yet."
I don't understand.
She kind of followed us after we left you the other night.
He says it's probably because you broke into her estate.
Yeah, I kind of figured that much out, but I didn't realize that was going to cause that kind of a problem.
Well, typically when you break into somebody's property, I believe it's been it's been nearly 500 years, but I would believe that someone would investigate their own break-ins.
I've never had someone follow me to my bathhouse, though, before.
It's been a long time, but the Pale Queen has always been very open about such encounters.
And I didn't think we left any sign that we had entered the place, because I tried to make sure I covered my tracks, but I guess not.
She probably has magical wardings and protections.
Ah. She's a tricky one. Okay. All right. I look back at... Go ahead.
I'm not acquainted with this world's magic yet, so I don't know what kind of protections those would imply.
He looks back at Lyra and Mika and Maggie, if Maggie's actually coherent again, and goes,
I guess
yeah, he's over here. It's sort of safe to come up here.
Can
Yeah.
can I like roll like history or something? What I would know about like the whoever blood whatever his name was, Blood Lord and the Pale Queen from stories and stuff.
Okay.
Or is there none?
You can roll me a history.
Okay. Oh, that's a 9.
Yeah, you don't know anything. He's just as mysterious as he is now.
Huh.
Can Mika like very stealthily just grab her shield And then just try and like use divine sense for a sec.
He's undead.
Evil. He's evil.
Um, mm, um, um, I was trying to
Chill
get
out,
one of their
darling.
attentions.
Chill out, darling. He's a vampire. Hey, Bloody, how's it going?
What? What?
He doesn't really have eyes, but you can tell he's squinting at you.
Mika's just freaking out at the whole situation. What?
Right. I assume that's some sort of nickname you've decided to give me.
Well, Bloodlord's quite a mouthful. You've got to admit. Bloody sounds just so much cuter. Makes you a little more disarming to our paladin friends.
I don't know.
Not that much
Yeah, the word doesn't really change it. He
No.
looks pretty intimidating. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, no.
He doesn't have eyes.
You should see him when he's covered in actual blood. Pretty
I don't-
disgusting.
I don't want to. I know. That is a part of the world I would not like to see.
So Razmeen turns back to the Bloodlord and goes, "So what's the plan this time?"
He says the same as before. However, I doubt you'll have as much dangerous encounters as you did before. And he'll offer you this small clay jar. It's similar to the ones before.
Okay. I'll take it from him. I'll be like, next question. Who owns this building?
He says some art enthusiasts.
And we're sure it's not the Pale Queen this time, correct?
Says, I imagine if she's been keeping an eye on the soldiers, she'll know where this one is. Whether she'll have protections and alarms on this place, I'm not aware.
Excuse me, the Pale Queen?
Yes, a now elder vampire that keeps an eye on, that seems to rule the underworld of this place.
And she means harm?
It's been a long time. She could. I haven't met her face to face yet. But if she did, we would probably fight.
She is really pretty, though.
Huh. Man.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say not good.
So he offers you this clay jar. He says it is full of Trent sap, as it was before.
Okay. And do I need to make sure that we do the same thing that happened last time and not contaminate it? Or is it okay if it gets contaminated? Because I'm not doing that.
He says I would appreciate if it wasn't contaminated.
Contaminated with what?
Last time it was almost contaminated with blood, and what the heck was her name?
Artoria.
Yeah. Had basically ingested all the blood to stop it from coming to it. It was kind of gross.
Yeah, let's not do that. Are we helping this Mr. Bloody?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he is the enemy of the Pale Queen.
Oh, so the enemy of our enemy is our friend?
Friend is a strong word.
More
ally.
like acquaintance.
Nope. Not even ally. Okay.
I'm not sure that's how the saying goes, but let's roll with it.
He's gonna look to Mika and he says, "Yes, I assume you probably intend on smiting me when you get the first opportunity to."
Well, I didn't want to say anything out loud, but you know, Bahamut doesn't like you guys.
And he says, "A friendly reminder that our existence is shunned by the living still."
Well, I mean, maybe if you guys didn't have such a bad rep, then we wouldn't think that way.
So I'll keep that in mind.
I mean, to be fair, darling, kobolds have a pretty bad rep too.
Mm-hmm. You got no excuse. She's gonna do like the come at me arms.
He's gonna now look away from you and disregard everything you say from this point on.
So,
don't
is there
feel
anything
like-
else?
He won.
He says you can go in if you choose, if you want or not. Just be warned, though, I will use magic to make you forget about tonight if you choose to not do so.
Is there anything about this place we should know about?
He says there is no ritual circle to help this soldier reconstitute properly. So you'll just have to put this thing right in his chest.
Hmm.
Okie dokie.
Is
Can
there
someone-
any? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that was I. Can someone do like a quick recap for me because I've been off the computer. I got a phone call. What is our mission?
We are going to go and try and resurrect a petrified, basically, vampire lord.
And how did he get petrified?
We don't know.
So there might as well be a Medusa or something running around just petrifying people.
That's what the Pale Queen can do.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh,
Oh.
that's horrible.
No,
I don't know.
we did not do those things. We do not die like traditional vampires. So she, in order to stave us from retaliating, she ripped out our hearts and sent us in a state of petrification.
And this is the heart of the vampire lord?
No, this is just Trent sap to
Oh.
influence the reconstitution of our soldiers into more good beings.
Okay. Okay, that sounds credible. And Lyra, you have dealt with our acquaintance here before, and that worked out. So I guess sure.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll let you guys discuss.
I don't
Or-
like this.
So my name is Maggie.
Ah,
Maybe we can do some role play now.
Oh, it's so no. Sorry, it's under like horrible circumstances.
I have never met a kobold like you. Like I have heard stories about you, and like she pokes you on the head a little bit, like with like her index finger, like, oh my god! And those scales, they feel so. Oh man, this is so exciting. And she like
She's gonna do like a runway
strokes
walk.
her head. Huh?
She's gonna do a runway walk. It's like, yeah, take it in. Ooh.
Oh, you need to move your hips a little more.
Oh,
Yes, swing a little bit better. Yeah,
Like
get the tail
this?
working.
Like
yeah.
this.
Oh, perfect, darling. Go for it.
She's just looking really awkward at this point.
Oh wow! So I have sung a million songs about you, like about kobolds in general.
I'm like, wow. Like, how
No,
does she know me?
people like the stories of the tiny dragons, and they're usually the heroes of my dad's stories. My papa really likes
Really?
kobolds. Yeah, he does. It's a shame you can't see them anymore, but he really does. I'm gonna tell him all about you and how pretty you are.
People don't normally like kobolds. That's a thing.
And you're a halfling, aren't you? You're like you're not wearing shoes. That's how I can tell.
Rasbean bows. Correct you are, my dear.
Oh, that is quite the courtesy. Is that what you say? I'm not sure. My name's Maggie. It's good to meet you. Hi, Rasbean.
Hello.
By the way, guys, I just wanted to mention something. I totally won that fight, by the way. Totally
Won.
won.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah. You told him.
Mm-hmm. He's quaking in his boots. I feel it.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, mysterious
Jack
cat from the ether.
From the ether.
Damn alley cats.
I want a kitty. Can I make Jack kitten?
Scratch.
I don't know how Jack would have some kittens, but if he ever mysteriously splits into two cats,
Mitosis.
yeah.
I'm gonna look for a cat in the alley now. Kitty! I hear it!
It's a vampire kitty who bites you.
Vampire cats.
You're welcome.
Timing.
That's
Perfect
timing.
All right. So
All right.
he says, unfortunately, I can't assist you much from any more than I already have. I'll make sure nobody follows in after you. However, if you alert the guards, I'll try to distract them. But if they get into the building, you'll be expected to defend yourselves.
Are we gonna mysteriously want to attack each other every time we use magic in this place?
What?
There was a thing in the last place that you put us in, like runes on the wall or something. And every time I seem to cast a spell or do anything, it made my mouth taste like blood, and I did not enjoy it. And then near the end there,
Ew.
I maybe kind of blew up Razbean.
What?
What?
No, I don't think that happened.
He says that must be something the Pale Queen put in place. I don't recall such a thing before.
Gotcha. All right, so just plain ordinary chaos magic. All right, good to know.
Alrighty.
Is the Pale Queen like is I'm not really sure I have met any vampires yet. Are they like of any specific race? Or are they is vampire like their race?
He just looks at you and looks at everyone else. And he says, a vampire can assume the form of any humanoid creature. Though they particularly choose more charismatic races. So you don't typically see them as gnomes or dwarves because a portion of their power revolves around their charm.
So
And,
Mika, you could be a vampire.
And can they be influenced by charming words?
Not typically, no.
No.
You can talk to them, and perhaps being suave and cunning with your words might influence them, but magic won't.
Let's see.
Okay. Rasmin starts looking around for an entrance in the back way.
Okay, you guys are standing right beside one, so.
Oh, okay. So
I found it!
Rolled a 2. I found it.
alrighty, cool. So next thing Rasmin starts to do is look for traps and wards.
Okay, roll me investigation.
Alrighty. So 18, 19, 20, 21. What's investigation? That's intelligence.
Intelligence.
21 plus. Get back up here. So that's a 25.
Oh, yeah. You definitely know that it's locked, first of all. It does have a simple bell trap on it to ring a bell, though you're not really sure if anyone will hear it, but it's there.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for disarming traps and for lockpicking. I got a 20 for disarming traps.
Okay. So the bell will no longer ring.
Okay. And I had a 17 for lockpicking.
It's just a simple lock. You
Okay.
easily dislodge the mechanisms, and the door swings open. Well, it kind of just drifts open on its own.
I shine the lantern of whatever it's called into the building.
All right.
Looking for.
Lantern of Revealing.
No, it's Lantern of Daylight.
Oh.
Daylight, that's what it was. I couldn't remember the word.
So you aim it inside, and it obviously brightens up the room. You notice many fine art pieces and trophies. There's like a stuffed owl bear in the one room with little plaques surrounding each piece. Portraits and statues from nobles from a while ago, perhaps even older.
Interesting. Hey guys, there's some neat stuff in here.
We should probably not touch anything. Like from the stories that I recall, whenever like you find a big treasure or something, and you touch something, it's usually going bad.
Speaking
So that's
from
a very
experience,
bright light you're shining in there.
Hurts my eyes.
Alrighty. So, does the same word turn it off?
Yes.
So I do the same whisper, yell at it, and say "hag," and I hand it back to Lyra. Here you go. Don't need it no more.
Is it dark in there?
yes.
Oh, I can't see in the dark, so
Would a bullseye lantern be more helpful here if you could funnel the light into certain spots?
That might be better. I'm gonna
All
let
right.
one of you, either Lyra or Mika, I think, should go before us, and one after us.
I'll do it.
Okay.
She'll take the lead, even though I don't really know what to look for.
All right. So, what's everyone's passive investigation?
Oh, 9.
13.
Where'd mine go? Hold on. I think mine's 11 or 13.
Mine's 11.
All right.
And I'm passing Maggie a bullseye lantern from my robe.
Actually, mine's 17.
Okay. Thank God. And what's your passive thieves tools using dexterity?
Hold, bear with me one sec. Wrong place. Sorry. I don't have them in order. That's 5. It's the 10 plus your dex plus your proficiency, right?
Yes.
That would be 18.
Okay. So you're walking around this place, and it's absolutely covered in alarms and other various traps. Obviously, they don't want to blow up any of their property, so there's no like crazy traps in here.
Level
Like-
9 fireball.
As we go.
Fireball.
Wait. Don't step there, Mika.
Ah!
And they mostly are just alarm spells that you kind of just move away. And bells tied to strings that will just kind of ring when you step on them. They're pretty easy to move and disarm, so they're not really a huge issue.
Can I collect the bells?
Yeah, you can collect the bells.
Cool. I'm putting them in a little pouch for later.
Okay. You collect 5 small bells, Each one of them weighs about 2 pounds each.
Good God, those are heavy bells.
And as you guys are kind of moving ahead, you start getting closer to the front of the place, and you start noticing that there are still guards kind of around. You do start hearing some voices, and it sounds like that they're playing cards for now.
So where are we going?
We've got to find this white statuish looking thing that's missing a hole in its chest.
I should probably be quiet then.
Mm.
So, do we roll stealth?
That's entirely up to you.
Let's go for it.
Mika screams and runs. No.
Well, don't say no. You can always roll a 1.
We'll see. Yeah, stealth.
Oh, that's nice.
I got a 16 for stealth.
Oh man, I'm stealthier than the rogue.
I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 13.
I did good.
I rolled a natural 20.
Holy shit.
Dirty 20.
Okay, was that a disadvantage because you're in heavy armor?
Oh no, I'm not in heavy armor. I'm in light armor. I'm a dex paladin.
Oh, yeah, you're wearing studded leather. The fucking
Yeah.
picture throws me off every time.
It's cool. It's the picture. My B.
So, yeah, you guys have no difficulty walking around these guys. They seem to be playing just 3 dragons ante. There's 3 of them at the table. What's
Mika will
everyone's
go.
passive perception?
13.
11.
Also 11.
Mine's 13.
Okay, so I will have you all roll perception checks.
Ugh. 6.
And perception is off of wisdom.
Yes.
Ooh.
Passively, I see more than when I actively look at.
Yeah.
So,
Might as well just not look.
right.
Well,
I got a
that's
25.
25. So, Dell, no one hears anything except for Razbean. Somebody in the room. It's so quiet that you wouldn't think that if it wasn't just you and a bunch of other people in the room, you wouldn't think it was even somebody in the building with you. But there's somebody in the other. So the table where all the guards are playing right now is in like the middle of the building, and there's like 8 sections around it. And you guys, and the south wall is where you guys kind of came in, and there's a wall in between that the guards in that room where there's the owl bear kind of sitting there. So there's no way they could have seen you come in from there. And there's in the room that you're in, so there's this little L shape that you guys went into, and in the middle, the center of the building, that's where the 3 guards are sitting, and there's these stairs that go above them. And then you hear the noises coming from in front of the building where the stairs are, and you guys are, and you know that it's heading towards you. And basically this building is a giant square filled with little squares.
Should we go in a little square?
Well, you guys are already in the little squares. So
Should-
in the center wall, there is. So in the center room, there's a wall that goes east and a wall that goes south, which is where you guys came in from. And then it's open where you guys are, which is the west. And then north, there's stairs. but it looks like it's also a little open. So if they were to be looking that way, they could see through the little gaps where the stairs are. And so you just hear this very muffled footsteps from leather walking towards you in your group.
Should we hide?
Rasbeen's the only one who can hear this, so
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, we might want to, because I hear another person or something, but I'm not sure where it's from.
We want to get upstairs, right?
Like, what's in the room that we're in right now?
just in this room, you see ancient weapons and armors. None of them have torn open chest pieces. Some of them are in full plate, some of them are scale mail. Some of them are just padded armor, but with very intrinsic designs.
Is there like curtains?
So what was everyone's stealth that they previously rolled? 23 and 25?
Mine was
18.
17.
17? What'd you
No.
say?
That was at oh no, never mind. 18. Yeah, you don't have disadvantage. I forgot.
Okay, so who rolled less than 19?
I
I
did.
did.
Okay, so you two make new stealth checks
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
as you guys are still actively hiding.
13.
Red and blue, stealthy as always.
Yeah.
$24.
I'm gonna use an inspiration on that and
Okay, did you say 29?
24.
24. Okay, so
minus 2.
you basically have a scary movie moment where there is like a drape, but you're like you run like everyone else goes like hides behind a suit of armor and like kind of stands along with it. You kind of just hide behind this open drape and you're kind of just sitting there and you're holding your DOS salute in front of you and you're like, no, this can't work. And you look at everyone else and the guy is coming around the corner and he steps around the corner and you're kind of standing like laying behind this weapon rack. And the guy and your DOS loot is just conveniently hidden behind this large maul that's called the Earthbreaker, and it's perfectly covering up your loot, and the weapons are kind of hiding you. He kind of scans the room with his bullseye lantern, and he doesn't notice anything, and he walks into the room behind the room that you guys came from.
Shit.
And eventually the room goes dark again as you guys are I'm assuming you guys are also covering your lanterns, so
Yes.
the room goes dark again as he leaves and starts making another round.
Oh no, I'm gonna start to panic. This is really I can't see in the dark and this is really scary. So
The only thing that you guys can hear now is the guys playing Three Dragons Ante.
We need to go.
and
Okay.
and I'm like alone behind this weapon rack. I'll just wait here until someone comes and picks me up.
Honestly,
scared.
you can see everyone easier than they can see you because you're behind them, behind the rack, while they're in front of you behind.
But
their
I can't see in the dark.
No. So, I mean, you guys can open up the bullseyes if you want and just aim them towards the wall. Or you can just turn them off and kind of just fuddle around.
Stealth. Ow. Stealth.
Alrighty.
This feels like fucking Metal Gear Solid hiding underneath the fucking
Someone get a
carton.
box.
Right? Ring.
All right, I'm gonna trigger the Paladin of Bahamut now.
What?
So you guys are just standing there, just trying to see if it's safe to go out. Lyra's the only one who can really see. Does Mika have dark vision?
Mika does.
So you two are just kind of peering out. You don't see the guy with the lantern anymore. And you just hear the one guy in the middle of the table go, just slam, like throws his card down on the table, and he's like, Tiamat, I win. And he just starts raking up all this gold. And the other two guards are like, ah, shit.
She steps down and she starts walking over. Let me at him. Let me at him.
Rasputin grabs a hold of Mika.
Let me at him.
Lyra holds her mouth shut.
That reminds me so much of the scene in fucking The Lion King where Timon is like, hold me back, Pumbaa, hold me back. I'm gonna smash his face. Hold me. No, I mean it. Hold me back. I don't want to go there actually.
Okay, so Mika, roll me a new stealth.
Oh, poop. Oh no. Oh no. Do I have inspiration? Because that's not good. I do. Okay. Fuck that too.
I used my inspiration on the toot as well.
Not much
He's
better.
giving himself advantage, so
It's not much better. It's an 11.
So last chance, last call for inspirations.
Yeah, I don't got any more.
Yeah, Lyra leaves.
Go ahead.
If he's
No, this
not
is-
here. We're gonna
This
be
isn't room
screwed.
for bardic inspirations.
I have regular inspiration.
Okay.
She starts a concert.
No, I'm just like, look, we'll go
She
after
plays a
them
lullaby.
later. After this, we'll remember who they are and we'll figure it out. But right now, you need to be quiet. And she'll give you a regular inspiration.
Okay, re-roll your lowest.
Okay. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Yeah, 17 plus
Okay.
4.
So they're playing the cards, and you get dissuaded, and you guys kind of move on from the room. And as you
Someone
guys are
picking
kind of
me up.
Yeah, we'll get.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm scared.
I'm not moving till there is an adult.
so you three kind of are moving as a group, and you go back and get Maggie, who's apparently petrified of the dark. And you guys are moving along, and as you guys hear the scraping of coins, you hear the one guard say, hold on. And he starts reaching for his lantern, and he pulls it out. He points it to the room that you guys were in, and just as it flicks on, you guys are out of the room, and he scans the room with the light. And the other two's like, come on, man, nobody breaks into this place. It'd be stupid. He's like, yeah, you guys are right. And he turns the lantern back off, and they go back to playing cards.
Why are we freaking here?
That was so close. That was so close. Is there like some light source in the next room where we are at?
There is a light coming from the outside. So there's a lamp that's outside, and there's 3 guards outside the front. And they seem to be talking to each other. It's hard to tell because they're on the outside of the wall. And the walls are pretty thick, so their noise is muffled from this distance. In this room, there's a lot of trophies of animals. Some animals are more magically inclined, and some animals are like the boulette. So there's some pretty high-end animals stuffed in here. The
Rasputin looks
conversation is again
Okay.
dulled.
This looks like a trophy hall.
Rasputin wonders if there's anything that he could actually take off of like a feather or something for Like
No,
mag-
no,
for
no,
like
no, no.
magical
Don't do it.
concoctions.
No.
You know that they are trapped with alarms. You can
Are they?
try to take one if you are very brave enough.
Maybe on the way back out. So he'll make a mental note of that first, because at least he can at least try and run later.
Okay, so basically you're eyeing up this cockatrice and you're like, oh, well, maybe I can take something from it later. Just a feather
All right.
from its quill. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
No, nothing. Alrighty. Okay. So let's.
I can tell you stories of things that can go wrong. So no, don't do it.
Okay.
So Bean basically goes towards or around the room, looking around, trying to notate where the traps are, so the others don't like mess with them.
Okay. Again, you find the traps pretty easily. You're sneaking through the front area now, and it just kind of looks like a registration place where they confirm that you have scheduled reservations to examine everything. The stairs lead upwards to what seems to be where the more important stuff is. The other room on which is basically the northwest room. You just came from the northeast room. The northwest room seems to be just tapestries and again more statues. And of course the stairs, they're barely lit with candles that are held in little trays that go up along the stairs. The handrails are not like smooth. They kind of look like steps in themselves, and so they have a lot of placeholders. You see that just a few candles line the rails so that you can see up the stairs.
Raz kind of looks towards the stairs and goes, "I think we need to go up there."
Seems pretty out in the open.
Because everything down here is mediocre, but the guy we're looking for has got to be somewhat more important than this stuff. I think the least stealthy of us should go upstairs first.
Okay.
Who is
Should we
there?
make a distraction or something so that it's easier for us to get upstairs?
Oh, I'm good at those.
Well, I do have a bag of bells now. And string. Hold on. I'll be right back. So, Razmeen basically goes to the other side of the building, kind of like following behind the guy, and sets up like a little system that he can pull with the string to distract the guards from the stairs.
Where are you putting the bells?
Um, Kind of like opposite of the way we are now.
So basically back where you started.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Make me a survival check.
What's survival based on?
Wisdom.
Oh crap. Ooh, 19. Not a profession, so 19 straight.
Okay. It takes you about a minute to make this system. I will have you roll me a new stealth check
All right,
while you're doing this.
come on. 12 plus 6 is 18 plus 5. 23.
Okay. And there's one more. So you're putting down these bells and tying them up to each other, and you successfully create this system. It puts you in the northwest wing. Everyone else, you hid from the wandering guardsman. And he says, "All right, it's your one of you guys take my spot." And another guard says, "Ah, I was just making all this money." And they're like, "Yeah, that's why we're sending you out, asshole." And so you hear one grumbling guard kind of pick up the lantern and start walking around, while the other the guard that was walking around takes a seat.
And right as he sits down, I basically make sure I'm like halfway to where I need to be, and I jerk the string pretty hard to make all bells ring.
Okay. All right, so none of them are particularly smart. They all hear the bells and they're like, "Oh shit, the alarm!" And they all pick up their weapons and start moving to the southern area.
Razbean sneakily gets back to the stairs and goes, "Go, go, go, go!"
I assume we already started to go once they started to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so the three of you are going up the stairs. Are you
Yep.
going? Are you still going stealthily?
Yeah.
Okay, Razbean, are you still moving stealthily?
Yes.
Okay. You get to the stairs and you realize everyone else is moving up them already.
Sweet. There's
As you get to the stairs and everyone gets to the top, you hear the guard say, "The lock's been, the door's unlocked. The bells are gone. Everyone spread out and look for them."
Oh.
Oh my god.
And
Maggie's about to have a heart attack. That's horrible.
And the three, you see the three guard. You hear a lot of people running around now. They're well, they're not running. The three of them are walking at a pretty fast pace, walking around the building now. The one is Razbean, you can hear, is running towards the front.
son of a. Razbean tries to get up the stairs as quickly and quietly as possible.
So I'll give you a choice. You can make your normal stealth check and move slowly up the steps, or you can move your full speed stealthily, but you roll at disadvantage.
Okay. We will take the disadvantage one. That means you got to roll two of them, right? And then take the lowest.
Yep.
Okay, 6 is 12 plus 5. That's 17.
Okay.
Nice.
So the other three of you, just put your current stealth scores.
Oh god, math. From like the last time we rolled.
Yeah.
Okay. 17 plus 4 is 21, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not gonna give this 24 away. I'm gonna keep being stealthy.
Ride the high.
That-
24.
That cost me like an inspiration.
All right. So, Razbean, you're going up the stairs. You're going as fast as your legs can take you and as quietly as you can. The one guard that is running down the hall, he opens the door, and the front door, he's like, "Somebody's in here." And the one guard with the lamp, he walks in and he's like, "What? What do you mean somebody?" And he stops and he looks up the stairs. The three of you are watching, and he says, "Look, the halfling's right there." And as he's kind of pointing up the stairs, he notices a gleam of shimmering metal.
No.
And Mika, you notice that your sword hilt. So you keep your gear pretty sparkly so
Dang
that
it.
people can admire you. Unfortunately, this is your downfall, as it's now just kind of shining in the light as it kind of sticks out from the post that you're hiding behind. And he says, "There's somebody else in here. Everyone, to the stairs."
No, there isn't.
Those are not the droids you're looking for.
And as you respond, they say, "It's a kobold."
How do you know?
Your dumb dragon voice.
That's. Ah!
Okay.
Can we not barricade the
Has
the
Rasbeen
stairs?
come up to us yet?
Yeah, Razbean's now at the top of the stairs. They are gathering first. So the other 3 guards below you, they're running it around now. And the other 2 that are outside, they come inside, and he's pointing them up the stairs as you guys, the two of you are still hidden, but the other 2, Mika and Razbean, they've seen you, and he's pointing you guys out as you hide somewhere.
How big is the opening, like at the top of the stairs, like the hallway? How big is that?
It's almost as wide as one of the rooms. It's like 20 feet.
20 feet?
It's huge.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like 20 feet up too, or is it just like 10 feet up?
I would say it's about 10 feet up, but the stairs itself is 20 feet wide.
Okay, if I used 2 iron doors, which can be up to 10 by 10, could I place them together and bar that?
Yeah, you could bar it closed. Do you have a bar? Does it come with bars, or do you have to bar it yourself?
It says can be placed in an opening to which conforms to fit and can be barred on a side of your choice.
Okay, so yes.
That's awesome.
So I'm
you-
Tell us that.
So you throw these 2 tokens, these patches, and they form fit to fit the walls, and the guards they're like, get him, they're up this, what the hell? And as you can hear them now running up the steps.
All right, I've
Rasbeen.
bought us some time.
We should
Let's
go,
go, go.
Okay.
Rasbeen looks to Lyra. Good idea, because I was about to pull out the gin again.
So
What?
no time for questions.
Yeah.
So
Just on the other side of this door that I've put in barred, I'm also gonna drop 2 pits. Just in case they
fuck.
break through the storm, like trying to buy us as much time as we can.
Oh, fluffies.
is the pits so does the pits lead to extra dimensional spaces, or
No.
is it just a hole?
They're a 10.
A 10-foot hole?
Yeah.
Okay, so they say, all right, so they say get the ram. And they go down the stairs, and you place down the 2 patches, and they don't form the full holes, but they do make these huge holes in the floor.
Okay.
So if they were to run through them, they would fall down and land on the ground.
I'm just hoping of anything I can do to slow them down. I'm like, okay, let's go.
All right.
I
So
think we're stealth running or just running. I
No,
don't
we're
know.
running.
Yeah, we're booking it now.
But there's
So-
going to be other people in front of us, right? So we should probably not. I don't know.
They would have heard.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's quiet up here. Now that you've kind of forced to back up because you threw these doors down in the pits, they're banging on the doors, trying to get them open. Obviously, the steel's holding up really well, and on the room that you're now forced to stand in because the floor is now giant holes. There's an opening on your left, which leads to more stuff. Most of it's in crates, but there is some stuff out in the open, though it doesn't look like they're ready to be put up for display. And on the right side is a closed and locked door.
I assume we would have Rasbeen check it out,
Yeah.
but he's AFK.
No.
Yeah, so Razbean goes up to the locked door and unfortunately his passive score isn't enough to beat it, so he will have to roll.
There he is. Hey, Bender.
Rogue, we need you.
Come on, I know you're there.
We need your wit and cunning and Dave's tools mostly.
Are you back? Or are you
Yes.
just breathing? Roll initiative.
All right.
No, I'm messing. with you.
Okay, he for some reason engages in combat with the trap.
Hey.
Screw this door. I don't
Alright,
want to
right.
be a rogue anymore.
Did I miss anything while I was gone?
Not really.
We bought some time.
They put up 2 steel doors and 2 pit traps. Well, they're not really traps, they're just holes in the floor now. Now, other question, did you throw the 2 holes side by side and made this gigantic hole in the second floor, or did you throw the other patch down on the floor below?
Oh, that'd be awesome, like Portal.
I don't know if I would have thought of that, so I think I just put them side by side so that basically anybody walking in is going to immediately fall.
Okay. So, there's a locked door to your right, and to the left is a large opening
Okay.
that seems to have other things to set up for display.
Check the room we're in first, in my opinion, and then go to the door. So I use the lantern from somewhere and start checking stuff out.
Okay, in this room, there's nothing special. There's some suits of armor. Again, all prepped for display, though it's obvious that this is just for looks. Guests typically aren't allowed up here.
Okay.
So this place is the steps where you're standing is just for looks, while the other room through the opening seems to have other objects and items inside. It's organized enough that you can walk through, but not organized enough to say that it's meant to be on display.
Gotcha. All right. So I go back to the door and I check it for traps.
Okay, roll investigation.
So glad we have a rogue for this.
20. I had a 24.
Sorry, I'm eating.
No, DM, you do not get to eat.
I have not eaten yet.
Too bad. You suffer.
Okay, fine. I will devour the souls of your characters.
No.
That is my
God damn.
consumption.
So, you check the door. It is not trapped. It is, however, alarmed. And the trap, then the lock, is significantly better than the ones down below.
Okay. Is the alarm something I can disarm from this side?
It seems to be, unlike the other alarms, which seem to be pressure plates that activate bells on the walls, this is a magical one. It will take a lot more effort to dispel it. It's doable, that you know for sure, but it will be hard.
I will attempt to disarm it.
You can do it.
Is that using my dexterity on that, right?
For disarming the alarm,
Yeah.
I would say that's intelligence because it's more leaning to Arcana.
Okay, that's a 23 then.
Okay, you're close,
Ah,
but the alarm goes off.
damn.
Ah, damn it. They already know
You
we're
don't-
up here.
Yeah, you don't hear anything, but knowing the spell, probably from practice from before or study, you know that whoever is designated to hear the alarm knows that's going on. And it's pretty obvious that they know. They say, they're trying to break into the door. Hurry up.
All right. So now I'm gonna roll for lock picking.
Okay.
Oh no.
And that's a 23 as well.
Okay, that's very easy for you to break in. That lock is again easier than breaking open magical rooms. And it's a little more difficult. There's a few more mechanisms and triggers inside the lock, but you do manage to get them all open, and the door kind of drifts open.
All right. Y'all get in. We need to bar this door so that way if they get past there, we have another door to stop them.
All right.
All right.
Maybe we'll go in.
All right.
And I look for something to help block or bar the door. Or
Okay.
reset the lock at least.
You can just lock it from this side.
Okay. I also want to try and bar it as well.
Is this the room that we want to be in? Check that first before you bar us in it.
Yeah, we might be locked inside.
All right. So you guys step inside. You look around, and with the light, you can see that this is the room. This is not a room you want to be in.
Oh no.
There are no statues in this room.
Nope.
There are suits of armor, but they're
Mm.
all worn out, and they seem to be pretty battered. There's a lot of tapestries. There's a desk, lots of bookshelves, and books on them.
Are there any other
And-
doors?
No.
What do the tapestries display?
Pictures of old Illumina families.
Can I recognize anything from stories and shit?
Roll me a history. You're kind of an outsider here, but roll me a history.
19.
You know that these symbols represent families from when Illumina was being founded. Illumina is a pretty old city. It's been around for a while. And even then, there was a city before that, but it was destroyed. You would know that these families refounded the city and not only pushed the giants out from this place, you also know that they had to fight a lot of the monstrous tribes around the area. So they had to. There was a whole war about it.
So they're nobles, not nobles, but like of noble origin, like fighting for good, the families.
The good might be a stretch, but they were fighting to found Illumina.
Huh.
There are only a handful of families left, maybe about a dozen, and only a few of them actually made it to the Council of Illumina, which Myra has had the opportunity to meet a few of them.
Do any of the tapestries look like the Pale Queen?
Roll me. I would say roll me a. Roll me a history as well.
And what is history?
Intelligence based.
Okay, cool. That's a 4.
You can or history or investigation.
Either way, same thing. Okay. Woohoo!
Mika's just gonna check if if anyone's inside.
Don't you have
I gotta-
expertise in investigation?
I do.
Well, then you have more in investigation, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
26. Definitely. You are looking over you're all walking around despite the heat of battle. You're looking at these tapestries and you're drawn to them. And you notice one female in the tapestry kind of standing out. And she in the tapestry and in kind of the plaque in front of you, she's described as the bloodiest warrior that ever lived. She was one of the key warriors
And
who.
I'm pointing at the tapestry, just in deer headlight caught look.
Okay, just let me finish.
Sorry, I'm letting you finish. I was just giving you like the response of what he looks like.
And she's described in the tapestry. She's wearing black armor, made from, again, very very rare metal known as adamantine. They forged it for her when they found out that she was incredibly powerful. They don't know where her power stems from, but she wielded a disgusting weapon as well. But in the time, she was willing to fight for them, and she single-handedly defeated 100 orcs on her own. And even then, after the orcs were forced to be routed, she spent a week there in isolation, defending against ambushes from goblin attacks. She is credited to being one of the heroes of Illumina when it was first being founded. Though, despite that, everyone had the plaque does say that everyone had their doubts about her, as she was tied to cultists in the area. However, her dark powers served Illumina in the brightest way possible.
Um, um, that's and he's pointing at the tapestry with the pale queen on it, going, that's her.
Oh, she really is beautiful.
Not in the tapestry. That's not what the tapestry. In the tapestry, she's among what looks like several other notable heroes. But while the other heroes are kind of like a little behind her, but they are relatively clean and depicted as noble characters.
Mhm.
In the tapestry, she is in the front, and although she is getting hit and taking what looks like weapons and arrows, she is also the bloodiest and is depicted as some sort of horrifying entity.
Well, then I take that back, and she surely looks intimidating.
Yeah, in the tapestry, you can clearly see that she's laughing.
That's not creepy at all.
Did the Almers react in any way? Or is there any like magic or anything that's going on once we entered the room? Is there anything I can sense?
Are you
Or
casting
see?
a spell, or are you going to make an Arcana check?
I'm gonna make an Arcana check.
Okay.
So let's.
And by the way, investigating these tapestries and the armors is taking up precious time.
Oh, we
yeah.
gotta go. We gotta go.
15.
Shit.
All right. Rasbean starts looking for like a. Sorry.
They have remnant magical energies, but nothing that makes them useful.
Oh yeah. I was just being wary of not that they all of a sudden come to life and start attacking us. So we should probably get out of this room. I don't know. Can this tapestry be rolled up and we can take it with us or something?
I wouldn't touch it.
I wouldn't say to take anything from the Pale Queen. My question would be though,
Oh yeah,
is there
good point.
anything behind it?
Who's been in the city for any
Oops.
decent amount of time?
I think Rasbean.
I've been here for probably close to 6 months or a year now.
Yeah, you would know that this place doesn't belong to. It belongs to some entrepreneur who has taken to the arts. I imagine you'd probably have a good idea on what the most like richest places would be. This was kind of on your top 30 of potential places to steal from.
Yeah, I still don't think I
It's-
want to take something from her.
It's not. It doesn't. It isn't owned by her.
Oh, okay. And how big is it?
It's a pretty big tapestry.
He looks
It
back
would
at all,
take you.
all
It would
them.
take you about 30 seconds to roll it up.
Okay. Anybody got a bag of holding?
I do.
You think this will fit in there?
I don't know. How big is it? Like, how big is it? Like, Alex, does it fit?
Yeah,
My
it
I
guess
don't
would
fits.
be like a 10 by 5.
Once it's
Yeah.
rolled up, it fits.
Okay.
Guys, we gotta go.
So
Hey,
while you guys are rolling it up, you hear the screech of broken metal.
All right. When I get done, I want to look around for a hidden door, possibly.
There isn't going to be one.
Oh boy.
Is
All
there
right.
a window or something that we can piece out?
Yes, but it goes out towards the street.
Is there
do
a lot
we
of
have
people
a
on the
rope?
street?
No. Well, looking out the window, I mean, there's a guard, an aluminum watch guard, but he's walking away. He kind of looks over his shoulder from time to time because the door is wide open and there's lights on in the building, and he hears the kind of ruckus going on, but he's kind of piecing out too. He's like, that's not my problem.
All right. Well, it looks like I put us in a bad predicament, so I'm gonna go ahead and conjure my djinn. That way, we have a badass to help us out.
We do not need to kill these gods.
Yeah,
No.
let 'em kill 'em.
No, can we just not get out of the window?
Yeah, I'm heading for the window to try and get out, and like we'll
But we-
come back another time, or we'll do something else, or we'll consult with our friend. But we need out.
Okay,
don't think-
so
Go ahead.
the window's a small window. It's enough for you to squeeze through. It's a 15-foot fall.
I'll take it rather than spend the time to put out a rope and shit and try to climb down. I'll just jump it.
Yeah, I'll try to jump too and use my acrobatics to roll over or something to fucking not take the full damage or something.
Okay.
What
Once
about
they
you,
land.
Mika?
I'm gonna wait till they
And be-
land so they can catch me.
And before I do that, I put my instruments in my bag of holding if I can, because I don't want to crush them while rolling over, since I'm carrying them on my back. That would not make sense.
Okay. So you can roll me an acrobatics check. Lyra, you just said you're gonna take the fall, so roll me a d6.
21.
4.
Okay, so you just take 4 bludgeoning from the fall. You kind of land on the ground. It hurts your legs, but it's nothing you can't walk off.
I'm just gonna wave at them, just like, please catch me.
I'm holding out my hands. Well, actually, wait. I'm probably gonna hold out my hands and then just like sort of sidestep because I have a feeling her armor is heavy and her shield and shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Maggie, you jump out the window and you land on the ground and you tumble and you don't take any damage.
Oh, wow.
However, as you two are watching Mika getting ready to jump out, you hear one of the guards say, I heard something outside. And 3 guards run outside and see you guys bailing out the window.
I jump.
Okay. So,
Maggie- Down there, Maggie's gonna take her instruments back, like put her shit back on her back.
Bean looks for a place to hide inside real quick because he's figured he's pretty much lost all the time to climb out the window with the other 3.
Blind trust.
so Rasbean, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find a place to hide in here real quick, hopefully.
Oh shit!
And
You
you
showed
summon-
them for.
So just to
Gonna
clarify, you summoned your Djinn.
Well, I was about to and was told not to. So,
Okay, so Roll me a stealth.
All right.
Oh shit.
28.
That's not too
Okay.
bad.
So you are hiding in the strangest place. You've managed to open up one of the armors, and you're hiding inside. And you're hoping for dear God that they don't find you.
Well, you said 3 of the 4 went outside, right?
There's 7 guards.
Oh, there's 7 now. Oh, crap.
There's 3 of them attempting to break down the steel door, and then 3 of them went outside while one of them is kind of just watching around. So let's do this.
Oh no.
The three of them, they break through the steel door and the steel doors, and they charge through, and they fall.
Yes, Hall.
They're all unconscious.
Oh.
Good job.
Insta kill. Triple kill.
So they're all unconscious. And the one guard is watching them, is like, what the fuck? And he runs up to the top of the stairs and he's like, holy shit. And he runs over to them, tries to help them. The 3 guards outside, they hear him and they look back, but then they look back at the 3 of you. And I'm gonna have them make quick investigation checks. Any of you carrying any obvious symbols on your body?
My big ass shield of Bahamut.
I meant any towards the guild.
No.
Oh.
No.
I think Maggie doesn't have one.
Mika's had that patch that she did. Cause Kagar. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if she'd had it like on her person. I don't think so.
So they're looking you over, and they don't engage in a fight with you. They just say, "We know who you are now. We'll find you."
No, you don't.
But why?
But why? What is life? So they're like, now give us back whatever you've stolen, and yeah, we'll pretend this never happened.
We actually
Darling,
didn't
we
take
didn't steal
anything.
No,
You guys
we
took
didn't.
the tapestry.
I
Okay,
did
we
not.
took
They
that.
don't know that yet.
No.
Okay, so they say, right. So I see how it is. We're gonna have to do this the hard way,
Oh,
and because unless you guys want to roll persuasion to try to,
Sure, I have
I
a
will.
plus 8.
yeah.
That's a
Like-
25.
Jesus Christ.
Bards.
Bard. You just say Bard.
Alright.
He's like, oh, okay.
No, I haven't. Oh, okay.
Mine was 28, if that helps.
Nika. Yeah, just roll.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, I have an okay persuasion, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so that, from a 4 to an 8, that's not bad.
Okay. It's not a huge issue. The 2 ladies, they kind of pull out their stuff and they tell them like, well, we didn't steal anything, and the guards are like, the guards are a little iffy, but they seem to trust you enough, at the very least, to not have stolen anything, and they say, get out of our sights before we call the watch.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no
Yeah.
need for that. It was just a little dare. We were having a pillow party. You know us ladies.
You know how we are.
Hee 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 hee.
And he says, and the kobold,
Is our girlfriend?
Yeah.
he's a little confused, and he's like, oh, right. Just get out of here.
Will
Scram.
do. So
Okay,
sorry about the
goodbye.
confusion.
We'll go. Us
Bye.
three. Just us alone. And I'll
Mika,
look
stop.
up. Okay.
Okay, roll deception.
Okay. Shit.
I told you to stop.
Oh, that's good.
goddamn
That's
it.
good. 16 plus. I'm not for social. Okay, so 18.
Mm,
No.
They're
Well,
like,
no.
they're kind of just giving you, all of them are giving you this look, and they're like, right, you get on out of here.
Bye.
And Maggie will like shove Mika like in front of her, like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's grab something to drink, and then maybe we
Yeah.
can look at some really nice boys like those guards, and let's go ahead and just have a time for ourselves.
Everything is closed. It's midnight.
Don't say that. We know where to find them. You know where we always look. And she'll just push her away.
Hey, Rasbin, so good luck.
so, so the two
We'll
guards
come back for you, though.
are now outside, and they're basically waiting for someone to jump through the window.
Oh, shit.
I am going to have to roll a lot of death saving throws.
Oh,
For the guards on the ground that fell down.
Yep.
let's not forget Lyra.
Loki!
It's only a 10-foot drop.
Well, plus the stairs.
So one of them died.
That's actually not what we wanted.
No, that's the first time Lyra's ever killed somebody.
Oh.
Well, she doesn't know.
Two
Really?
of them are dead. And one of them stabilized.
Couldn't that one guard who went there to help them? He wasn't able to stabilize any of them?
Their skills are perception, investigation, and insight. It's not medicine.
Just looking at things.
Yeah, they're basically to detect liars and to see if there's anything wrong with stuff.
That makes sense for
Well, there was
guards.
something wrong with their necks. How did we not see that?
Investigation the body.
Yes.
If the arm is this way, that's not right.
So he's trying to help his buddy out, and all three of them out. Two of them don't make the fall, and don't survive the shock. And the other guy is stable. He's alive. And the other guy, the fourth guard, who realizes this, he's a little infuriated. He walks to the stairs, and he skirts around the hole in the giant hole. And the one guard that went back inside sees him, and he's like, "What happened?" And he's just shaking his head. He says, "Some rookies died." He's like, "What the fuck kind of thieves are these?" And then you go up the stairs. So the three of you are pretty much just outside. You can't really hear any of this.
Right.
So Razbean, you're the only one who can really hear this shit going on. And they're like, I don't know. They look at the steel doors and the giant holes in the floor, and they're like, these aren't normal thieves. And they start walking towards. They skirt around the holes, and they start walking towards the office. The door is still open, and they say, the one guard says, "I wonder who could have done this." And the guard that's following him says, "The three ladies outside are members of the UAG." And he's like, "Curse those adventurers. Just think they can do whatever they want." And they're going to roll investigation checks. I don't think they can make it.
How did I know that we were from the AG?
Because,
From Mika's thing? Okay.
yeah, Mika had a patch on her. And Mika and Lyra are pretty well known now. Well, Lyra more so than Mika, but Mika has been seen around slaying, obviously, thieves.
Yeah.
So the guard know her a bit. So you guys aren't famous, but your words have kind of reached everyone's lips.
But we're famous.
Once they're out of reach, like for like when no one can really hear them, like Maggie's gonna say, "Hey, maybe we should give the tapestry back and we can talk this all over."
I don't even know how we took it in the first place.
I don't know. Raspin just put it in my bag of holding. I mean, I don't know. He just asked. So maybe we should give it back and maybe we can talk this over and get like to the vampire lord that we are supposed to resurrect. And
mean-
So while you guys are talking about this, their initial investigation has yielded little results. And the one guy is questioning if you're even there at all. But the one guard says, no, there's somebody else in here. We just got to keep looking. And basically, you're kind of on a time limit now. You have to find a way out of there. And if you don't, they will eventually find you. They end up closing the door and locking it. And basically, the window is open for right now. If you want to jump out of it.
How many are in there?
Just the two.
Okay.
Seems like the head guard, as well as just one of the other guards walking around.
Hell with it.
don't
wanna-
do it. Don't attack him. Just jump. Just jump. Just get out of there. We'll give the tapestry back. We're going to be going to their funerals. We're going to be really sorry about this, and then I'll be good.
You're not there.
All right. Raz actually truly conjures his genie this time.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Why you gonna kill people?
And he tells the genie to knock them out.
Okay. So the djinn is summoned in the middle of this room. And the two guards are like, who now just closed the door, they feel the breeze of his summoning enter the room, and they turn to look, and they're like, holy shit. And the djinn pulls out his scimitar, and they're in shock. So roll an attack.
Where'd my dice go? There it is.
Yeah, you guys feel if you guys haven't really left, you're kind of just lingering around the building, you can feel that breeze. None of you only Lyra would recognize that kind of feel, though, as the djinn released.
Ladies, I
22 attack.
don't feel well with this. Like, I don't know. We just made a huge mess and we didn't really achieve what we came for. Plus, we stole. Like, I didn't even know. Can we not go back and give it back?
We stole. I didn't touch anything.
So, Rasbeen.
It was 20 to attack, or a dirty 20.
Okay. Roll for damage, which is 3d6 plus 5.
Gonna kill the dude in one hit.
Well, they must only have like 2 or 3 hit points because the 10-foot fall shouldn't have killed them.
It didn't. They were rendered unconscious from the fall. They have only 6. They're only level 1 guards.
Yeah, but I only took 1d6 from falling 15 feet, right? So they would have had to max their damage on that.
Yeah, they all rolled above 8. They either got 5 or 3 or 6 and 2.
Oh, why did they roll 2? Because I only rolled 1.
Because they're wearing heavier armor than you, and they were running full speed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's dead. You tell him that you only want him to unconscious, and he hits the guy so hard that you can hear his skull crack and through his helmet, and he just collapses on the ground.
Bad, Jin. Bad. I said knock out.
Roll your next attack.
Oh, damn it. That's even worse.
Don't tell me you crit.
Oh, wait, I forgot the attack roll. I was doing it the other way. I was rolling damage. 13. That's an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay.
So, just tell me, did you roll higher than 16?
Yeah.
So, you two, everyone else just hears this thunderous cracks of lightning and thunder as you hear just these loud bangs, and it's
What is he
you feel the
doing?
winds are very powerful in here. Razbean, from the way you see things, you're pretty confident that they're dead, but you can't be certain.
All right. So I climb out of my armor and check them to see if they're alive or dead, because I'm thinking they're dead.
Yeah, the one guy's eye basically exploded, and the other guy, although nothing exploded on him, blood is kind of dripping out all of his orifices.
I turn and look at the djinn. I said, "What are you thinking?"
He just kind of shrugs and he says, "I guess I'm more powerful than I am to believe."
Follow me. And I just head out of the room looking for another room to go into.
Okay.
Avoiding the big ass hole.
Maggie put the tapestry back in the entrance hall from the room house and went back to the others.
Okay, so you walk out in front of the guards that are still standing there. There's only
No,
two
I
left.
thought there were no guards. Like we went in there without guards. Wasn't that the case?
No, you guys left. The two guards wouldn't let you go in.
Well, then I'm going to cast invisibility on me. I put it back inside and then I'm going to go back.
Where do you put it?
If I can, do I remember like the traps and stuff?
All of the traps are fucking gone.
Okay, then I'll put it where I found it. Where I found
Okay,
it. Put it back.
So you'd probably be grossed out.
Yeah,
what my djinn just did.
So there's no way to go through the main hallway stealthily anymore. Basically, the thunderous noises from your djinn has alerted basically a lot of people. Like, people are now awake. Mika and Lyra, you see people kind of stirring around and looking out their windows.
Well,
And that
Maggie
guard that was walking by, he starts walking back. He's like, "What the fuck?
What is going on?
Well, Maggie would have told Lyra and Mika that she's going to put back the tapestry.
Okay.
So, and she's going to cast invisibility on herself and put it back.
Yeah, Lyra would have told her that was a bad idea, and also that it's a bad idea to cast magic in Illumina.
Why? Oh, really?
Because you have to roll in the chaos table now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Even if it's cast through the DOS loot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except, depending on what effect happens, it will affect
84.
the DOS loot. 84? Okay, so nothing happens. You cast it and it goes off without a hitch.
As she runs away invisible, Mika's just gonna go, No, Maggie, come back! And she's just gonna wave her arms around trying to get her.
This is not right what we're doing. And she like brings the tapestry back. Like there's no way she's gonna take that.
She's just waving her arms like a
The
lunatic.
guards,
Then why didn't you give it back to the guards when they asked you if you had it?
I don't know. You were saying like we didn't have it, and then I kind of.
I
just
didn't
went with
steal
it.
anything. I said I have not stolen anything.
I wanna go out!
this has gone so bad. So,
She'll put it back.
okay, so you walk past the guards and they're absolutely terrified. They're like looking in the door, and since Razbean's walked across the hallway to search the other room, they see the djinn walk across and are like, "What the fuck is that?" they don't. You just see them looking in. They're like, and saying that, but you don't see the Djinn. And they're like, "What the fuck?" And the guard's like, "What's going on here?" And they start telling them. They're like, "So we found this halfling and some kobolds and some ladies from the UAG." And the guard's like, "Oh shit! Hold on, let me get my notepad out."
Just scribble his notepad.
And as you kind of skirt past them, they're too terrified to roll. Like the two guards are too terrified to roll perception checks, and the guard's busy writing. So you walk past them.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
rolled a 24.
Yeah, they don't even notice you. You're basically a part of the wind that is occurring. And you walk into the building and you start heading up the stairs. Rasbeen, you're in the room with all the other artifacts that are kind of just disorganized but available.
Okay. I'm looking for another door.
There's no other doors.
Okay. Where the hell
These
is this wind
rooms
at?
consume these two rooms pretty much take up the whole like upper floors. And
So can I unlock the door from the other side, because this is where I'm going actually?
they didn't lock it, so they just closed it. So you open it up.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you open up, you are met with this terrifying instance where there's two bodies. One of them has this blown out eye and has this huge hole in his head where it looks like some large circular object smashed into his head
Oh god.
and bent his helmet in. And it's basically the same for the other guy. He got hit in the head by a large circular object, as well as, but he doesn't, nothing has exploded, but his head and some of his crotch area is just dripping with blood. It's starting to pool around him.
Oh my god, what happened here? And you just hear this voice, because she's invisible. She's like, Rasbeen, what did you do? And she's trying to still like,
Rasbeen's not in the room.
did he jump?
No, the Djinn, you look around and the Djinn is floating around behind. You see this large, muscular, bluish being carried by this wisp of like this small twirling tornado in the other room. He doesn't seem to notice you, but he seems to be in like following behind something.
Okay, so she'll try to be like extra careful when entering the room and not being noticed, because she does know that it belongs to Rasbeen and she hasn't seen Rasbeen apparently. So she'll just enter the room being really disgusted, try to look away from the bodies, because that's the first time she's actually seen like dead people and that badly mutilated as well. So she's suppressing like the gag reflex and puts back the tapestry.
Okay. So do you want to put it back up, or do you want to just put it on the floor?
If I can't put it back up, since it, like if there's like nails in the wall, whatever, she'll hook it back right where it was and then get out of the window and take the like do the same thing, put the stuff in her bag of holding and jump down.
Okay. So you just roll me acrobatics.
It's not gonna be
'Cause you
good.
have an hour to do this. So
Yeah, invisibility lasts forever. So that's 10.
okay. So it's not a hard fall. You jump out and you land. It's not very good landing, but it's not a very high fall from your practice. And you just start walking away. The guard is like, I'll take a look. And he pulls out his halberd and he says, "You two go get the watch and meet me back here."
All right.
Wow.
Rasbeen's searching through all the things that are up there, hoping to find the statue.
Okay. Roll me investigation.
That is a nat 20.
Oh, you find it. It's in a crate. You opened it up. Well, you and your Djinn opened it up pretty easily. And as you look inside with the lantern, You see the statue, and it looks like what you're looking for, a petrified soldier with a huge opening in his chest.
All right, Jim. Keep watch while I take care of this.
And he says, "What do you want me to
Try
do if I..."
Try not to kill them, just immobilize them.
Okay.
And what I know about his tornado thingy he can do?
Did you ever at some point ask him what he's capable of?
No.
Then no.
So at this point, I'll go, is there anything you can do that will immobilize them without hurting them?
Okay.
And they have the ability to do the create whirlwind, and it doesn't say anything about damage on there. It just says they have to have a DC 18 to strength to not be stuck in his whirlwind.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's considered magic or not, because it doesn't really say that.
It's not.
Okay,
It's a
cool.
magical ability, not a spell.
All right.
So, yeah. He's standing there. And you're getting ready to put the clay jar into the chest.
Yep. I'm gonna
So
sit
as
there
you're
and
doing
take.
that,
Good.
the guard comes up the stairs, and the djinn is going to hold him with the Great Whirlwind. The guard doesn't make his save. However, neither does the roof. So you guys are standing there. One of you is still invisible.
What? Me?
Unless,
I
yeah,
jumped out of the window. No, I'm back with my friends.
yeah, you're still invisible. So
Yeah,
unless you
outside.
make yourself visible.
No. Not right now. Maybe we need it still.
So yeah, you are like, yeah, I put it back. It's where it needs to belong. Like, mission successful. We didn't steal anything. And then you just see this giant whirlwind that towers about 20 feet above the building break through the ceiling and the roof and start throwing this clay shards around.
What?
Is the building collapsing?
No, it's very small. The whirlwind only is about 5 feet.
No.
What the fuck?
What is Raspin doing? Is that Raspin?
That's definitely Raspin.
What?
Rasbeen,
Is he
You-
killing people? Is that him?
I
You put
thought we
the-
were just trying to find a statue.
We were just trying to find a statue.
Okay.
So
So I place the urn in the hole, and then just take the lid off of it.
okay, and the blood soldier starts regenerating, and he starts getting this kind of green glow as he fully drains the sap that's inside the clay. And he stands up and kind of hits his head on the crate and then steps out. He looks around and he says, "Thank you for your help. Where
No
am I
problem.
needed?"
Your blood lord wants you, and hopefully I can help enough of you guys to come back to where you guys can get rid of my other problem, which is your problem.
He says, "I understand. I will go find him then."
And you're welcome.
He nods and he looks around. He says, I'm sure you'll feel free to take whatever you like from this place. And he starts walking away. He walks, even though the tornado is kind of just this large obstruction, he just walks past it casually, stepping around the place. You guys do eventually spot the Bloodlord and the soldier leaving.
All right. So Rasmin does continue to look around for something of interest. He does want to take one of the feathers off of the cockatrice. Was it called?
At this point, you could probably take them all.
Should we
Well,
go?
as of right now, we technically haven't stolen anything because he saw her put it back.
No, did
No.
you? No, I was
Okay,
invisible, and you
that's
were
right.
not in the room anymore. So you think I still have it?
Okay. Well, I still continue to look for stuff.
Okay, so everything in here is authentic. There's some objects in here that have remnant magical abilities. The stuff in the office, though, seems to be fully functional.
Should we go back in and check after? Probably after the guards more than after Rasbin.
You said they were dead. There's not
They.
much help we can give them now.
What about the vampire lord though? Should we help him search? I mean, that's what we came here for, right?
I think our best bet is to return to the Bloodlord now. He said he would help us. Maybe he has some sort of idea about what to do about this clusterfuck of a situation. Rasbin, at this point, he's no longer being a stealthy rogue. He's being showy. He's drawing attention to himself. And as far as I know, he's willfully hurting people.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
The Bloodlord is kind of standing. He's moved down to the next alley. He's not standing near this building anymore. And some people are actually turning on their lanterns and pointing the lights at them, at the building with the giant tornado coming out of it.
Yeah.
And so Rasbin, you're looking for anything of value?
Yeah, anything of value that would maybe not be too big, considering I can't sit there and hold too much more, I don't think, with all the gold that I carry. But
Okay.
something that would be suffice for one of each of us.
Roll me Arcana.
That's wisdom, right?
This is intelligence.
Alrighty. I don't know why I didn't know that. Nat 20.
For a total of?
What was that?
For a total of?
Oh, Nat 20 plus 4 plus... So 26? No, 27. Because proficiency is 3 now. 27.
I'm just trying to find something that you would find in here. You find some Kyotum's ointment. And which is a healing item. You find an immovable rod. And I'll say you find gloves of swimming and climbing.
Cool. Alrighty.
So I am going to roll their con checks. and they rolled really well. So you three are watching. It's a little dark where you are, a little shaded, and you notice the two guards coming back, and there's a whole squad of guards coming around now. There's about 12 guards from the watch coming in, and they're scouring and they're getting ready to go into the building.
Son of a cookie monster. Alright. Rasbian's looking for another way to escape other than the front door, the back door, and that one window.
Well, you're in the office, so there's only the one door still open,
Okay.
and the window.
How far away? How far away is the next building?
If you go, there's the next building from that window.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing.
Oh shit.
You good?
There's nothing near that window. It'd be like 50 feet to jump.
Alrighty. I'm gonna tell my Jim to throw me out the window.
He says, "Sir."
And I'm gonna use my acrobatics to hopefully land somewhere. So I'm being launched by a being that has a 21 to strength.
Yeah, he'll make a strength check for him. Advantage, because he's 2 sizes larger than you.
I rolled 16 both times, so 21 for each one.
Okay. And roll your acrobatics.
22.
Okay. So you get thrown out the window, you fly 40 feet, and you tumble on the ground. And you said 22?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you land on the ground quite roughly. I'm gonna have to roll perception checks. The guards notice you being thrown out, and the captain of them says, "Go get that one. And we'll see if he's okay. Everyone else inside." And 3 guards start heading towards you. They don't have their weapons out.
Bean takes off like a bat out of hell.
They say, "Hey, get back here." And
Nope.
your movement speed is 25.
It is.
And so you're going to have some cunning plan to get away from them because they will outpace you.
Where's that? Hold on.
Oh no.
Dang it, I don't have invasion yet. Damn it. Okay. So
I mean, he can double dash, so in theory, he could outpace them, right? Because he's a rogue. So he could go 100 a turn.
Yeah, he could. Well, he could go 75 feet
75.
Alright.
Okay.
because it just lets him move his movement again.
But wouldn't he
okay.
gain like a level of exhaustion, like after, like if he can't get them far enough, if he can't get far enough away from them?
Yeah.
No.
all right. I'm gonna basically dash and look for an alleyway to duck into as quickly as possible. It's as dark as possible.
Okay. So you get ahead of them. How much constitution do you have?
Constitution. Bear with me a sec, sir. Come here. I've got a 14 con.
Okay, so you manage you double dash for about 30 seconds to get away from them. You start getting tired, and you see this perfect alley that you can just kind of squeeze into. It's a very small gap. Roll me a stealth.
23.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the guards run by you. They don't see you.
I stick my tongue out. I don't say a word, but I stick my tongue out.
Okay. All right. So you manage to dodge those guards, and they're like, "Where'd they go? Where'd he go?"
Right. And at this point, I'm just going to try and wait him out. Maybe slowly go to the other end of the alley as
Yeah. So
quietly as possible.
they're not gonna find you. As soon as they lose you, for the even just the moment, it's obvious to you that they're not gonna be able to find you once you move away from them.
Awesome.
So you three. So you left the djinn in there?
Um, Technically, yes. Just trying to sit there and see if he just dissipates. Because I think that isn't that concentration on that one too, or no?
Oh, that was convenient. Yeah, so you have to concentrate on the spell. So you can drop it if you want.
Yeah. So that he doesn't get killed and off the no land. I sat there and when I was running, I basically lost concentration of it.
Okay. So you three, are you still just standing on the road?
I'd be trying to get them to see if we could wander a bit and find the Blood Lord again.
Yeah, I think we would go looking for this dude.
Okay, he's making himself known to you. He's kind of just waiting for you in another alley. Especially since that alley's been compromised with guards.
Just a little.
Yeah, it's a quiet night now. Just with the ruckus of the events, everyone is more concentrating on that. And you hear the guards like looking around, like this place is a mess. We gotta find them. And there, you can hear them searching through the place. They're being pretty loud about it. The
Right.
Blood Lord is standing there, and beside him is a soldier.
Do we recognize that this is a new soldier? Like maybe our mission was completed by one of us while we weren't there, or is this just we think that this is just like another one of its dudes?
This one has seemingly a long shaped spear rather than the sword and shield. It doesn't typically look like a spear. Again, the blade on it is long and spongy. It doesn't even look like a proper weapon, but they seem to be carrying it like it is. And he says, "Well done. It was a success despite the attraction."
What?
A success. Bloody,
What
I
if-
don't know if you looked around, but this is a little tits up right now.
This is not good. This is just like the cats on the sky. This is horrible.
He says, "I don't get the references that you're making. However, you succeeded on your part." He says, "I could help you if you so require it and sweep this under the rug, though I won't be able to mitigate everything. I perhaps might be able to make the assailants not known.
Not know what? Like who we are?
How long do you think it'll take for Rasmin to come back up on them? Like, kind of out of nowhere.
A little bit.
Okay.
He says, I can modify their memories so that they don't know who you were.
Can you modify them so that in addition to not knowing who we were, they know not that we were with the UAG?
He says, I think the duality of that is would be part of that. Yes.
I would request that that be done.
Please.
Yes.
Very
I'm so
well.
sorry.
He says, you may return home, and we'll consider this payment.
How long will it take for you to wipe the memories of this?
He says, not long. It'll be over before the night ends.
All right.
And you see them walking around. Do you stay nearby?
Yeah, Lyra's going to, because if she knows that they don't know who she is, then she's going to go up and offer both her condolences and to see if there's any local clerics or anything like that that would be willing to do anything for the injured or the dead.
Yeah. Maggie will definitely assist. Like after sometimes like after the memories have been erased, she will drop the invisibility and do the same.
Mm-hmm. Mika too.
Okay, so you're watching the Blood Lord?
Yeah.
Or
I don't, is he doing anything, or is he just standing there like an NPC who we've stopped talking to?
he's walking towards the museum.
Okay, I'll watch him.
Yeah.
So, do you follow him into the museum?
I feel like if we followed him in, that would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not following him in. I was
We'll
just
wait till
Oh my god, what a trap. Why do you do this?
We'll wait till he comes out.
The DM trap though.
So, Razvin, you're finally catching up to them, and you just see the Blood Lord heading into the museum.
What's he doing now?
As if you have any place to say that.
Hey, I can't help my Jim's destructive.
Yes, you can. You can literally not summon it to murder people.
I'm not the one that put a hole through the floor.
Oh no,
That's
can we
not-
not? This is
yeah,
not
cool.
the place. That is not the place
She's
for
gonna
this.
Mika's just gonna step in the middle of this and just like, hey, no fighting, look at my flute.
Okay,
No.
so you guys start hearing some strange incantations. The night is definitely becoming quiet as the guards are like, did somebody come in? And then you guys hear the strange necrotic incantations. And they're like, somebody's here with us. And you hear them running around and shuffling. And they're like, what are you doing to him? What did you do? And there doesn't seem to be an answer immediately. And they say, you're gonna have to come with us. And you can hear some movement, and you hear what sounds like somebody saying, he doesn't even have bloody arms. How does he do any of this? And then you just hear what sounds like this pool of, well, you can presume blood considering his name, just spattering onto the ground as a loud gushing noise can be heard. And
Ew.
the guards are like, oh, what the hell? And
Poor guards, really.
they try to run away through the front door, and you just see more blood spattering out, and the one guard kind of like gets gets close to getting out of the door, you can see his like hand fall to the ground as he's like trying to pull his way out, but then he just gets pulled. You see his hand go limp, and he gets pulled back into the building.
Did we do the right thing here?
He said he was going to modify their memories. He didn't say he was going to eat them.
That doesn't look like memory only change. That looks like I don't know. That looks like he's murdering all of them.
Yes, it does.
Can we just go, guys?
So
Oh my
about
God.
10 minutes passes as you guys kind of stand there awkwardly,
That's horrible.
and he leaves. And he starts walking out the back door where you guys entered the building. The lights are still on the place. And he starts walking down into that dark alley that his soldiers seems to be waiting for him. And as he kind of passes a light, you can see that he's not white anymore. He's covered in blood.
Rasputin heads towards the Lord.
He looks over to you.
Do you have anything that can help me ward off the queen by chance?
He says, "No, I don't."
Oh. Any suggestions on what I can do to avoid her?
He says, "Stop making so much noise."
That wasn't me.
He says, "If only I could have you as a jester."
Excuse me, sir. I saw incredibly a big amount of blood. Did you kill those guards?
No, you're free to check on them if you like.
Raz is not going back in there.
Yeah, I don't want to go back in there.
Yeah. Since Maggie actually is not on a super bad stand with them and they let them go in the first place, she will probably go and look if Lyra comes with her.
She will.
Okay, so yeah, she will like really carefully go and look like basically more like a concerned citizen. What she really is right now.
Okay, so you go and approach them, and all the guards, they're lying on the ground, and despite them being all unconscious and having a little bit of blood on them, there's no blood on the floors. This is almost, despite all the gushing and the blood that you did see, there is actually nothing on the floor.
So how many are unconscious on the floor?
All 12 guards.
Well,
And the 2 guards that managed to survive.
Maggie's gonna give all of them a health potion. Like force feed them. Like so that they come back to consciousness.
Okay. All the watch members start waking up. You have enough potions for all 15 of them?
Yeah, I have exactly 15 health potions, and she's gonna use all of them.
Yeah, if you want to split it, I can do some of them. I don't have very many health potions myself, but I can help you feed them.
Sure, like if you give me like 2 or 3,
guys,
that would be nice.
Don't worry. I got it.
You didn't come with us.
Oh no, but now I am. Just because I don't want you guys to waste potions.
Okay,
I'll just go lay on hands 1 hit point each of them.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So you didn't go with them.
Oh.
So if you could give me like 2 health potions, and I would have them for myself later on because she has 15, so she would spend all of her health potions.
Yeah, that's all I've got too is 2.
Oh,
So
then
you can have those.
Yeah.
No, then just give me 1, and then you have 1 and I have 1, and all of them are back.
Okay, so you start waking them up, and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" And they look you over, and the three guards, even though you know they should definitely recognize you, they kind of just shake their heads, and they're like, UAG members, what are you doing here?
We heard the commotion and we came over here. We saw some blood. Something horrible is happening here. We just came to help. Are you okay?
How are you feeling? And she like helps them up as good as she can with 11 strength.
They look around and they're like, I don't remember. We came in here and we saw this large person in this tornado, and they looks around. He says, and all the guards are kind of just like, yeah, this is what happened. And the guard says, and our friends, it made holes and made our friends fall, and they, oh my god, they're dead.
Are the holes still there? And have you
Yeah,
seen
the
this?
holes in the steel
Okay.
gates are still there.
Well,
And they're
is it-
like, oh, my friends are dead,
but they're
and
not, right?
yeah, the two guards. There's 4 guards dead.
Okay.
They're like, oh my god, they killed my friends.
Well, don't worry. We'll get them to some clerics. We'll find somebody, and we'll see what can be done for them.
I'm so sorry this happened to you.
He's like, yeah. And all the guards are like, all the watch guards, they're like, well, we'll secure this building, I guess, and we'll see if the tornado man is still here. And if he is, then, well, I don't know what we'll do, but I guess we'll have to try to slay him.
Tornado Man, you're under arrest.
I suggest you should rest first because you look like you're all in really bad shape. So, maybe just get up and have something to drink and eat if you can. And I guess Siren, I will be staying here for a moment to make sure you guys are all right. And yeah,
Do you mind doing it for us? You're right. The captain is looking at everyone. He says we're all pretty weakened and tired right now. He says I can't remember for the life of me why. I guess he must have hit us with something, some sort of spell maybe. And he looks to you too, and he says, "Could you secure this building while we get some reinforcements to take your place? We'll pay you."
Don't worry about payment right now. Just worry about yourselves and getting the injured and the dead out of
and
here.
your friends. Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything in this building that we need to know about that's dangerous other than this tornado man? Is there like natural traps? I've never been in here before, but it looks like some sort of
Well
museum or
secured.
something.
Yeah, well secured building.
The 3 guards are like, well, our boss will be mad if we leave. We'll just keep you down here. There's supposed to be bells, and he's kind of looking for them, and he's like, they're all gone. What happened to the bells?
I mean, to be fair, you said there was a tornado that came through here, and I would assume that would destroy a lot of bells.
Yeah, but there's some on pressure plates. I mean, I guess it could have lifted them up. He's trying to put everything together, and he's like, boss isn't gonna like this.
This is like the Men in Black stick. It was a gas cloud that exploded. Yeah, it was real.
Oh.
So you guys stay at this building. So you two stay at this building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will say to you, Razbean and Mika, that the Bloodlord is intent on leaving, and they haven't left the building, and you see guards leaving. Do you follow them up?
I've got stolen items. I'm not going back in there.
Okay. So you head back to the guild?
I kind of wait on the other side, kind of like as a watch, so like a bystander watching, waiting for him to come out.
Okay. Mika?
I don't know.
Rasbeen was trying to show me his items he found, though.
Mika doesn't care.
You should care a little bit more. What's your alignment?
I mean, right now it's see, it's chaotic good, but
Okay.
like
So he shows you these. Do you tell him that they're stolen, or do you just show them?
I just tell him they're the items that I found.
Okay. He found them.
no. I mean, where'd you get those?
Well, I found them here and there.
Here and there? Like, what do you like? What? You just
I found them while I was looking for stuff.
in the house or in the this?
No, the soldier told me to take whatever I wanted.
But that doesn't seem right. Why would he? She would insight check at this point.
Okay. Roll insight versus deception.
I'm trying to to sort of deceive her as well.
Okay.
I had 7.
I don't know.
I rolled a 4.
Hey, Song of Rest, magic. Is that like
No,
a
it's
magical
not.
ability?
So, what Rasbeen roll for deception?
I rolled a 19. I have deception as 13.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mika,
like a
roll me
25.
investigation as well.
Oh man, that's worse, dude. -1, 2.
Okay. You know, you could have got it from anywhere, really. Somewhere in the building, but or maybe just found it in the back area. I'm not really sure.
And he said the guard told him to take any, like to take him.
Well,
Whatever
I
he
mean,
finds.
if you're sure it's okay, I mean, should we save some for like Maggie and Lyra?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys would like out of these. It's just what I found. I found this rod and these gloves and this item here.
Okay. We'll wait till they get back, cause I don't know. Should we go
We're
That's
gonna
help
be
them inside?
waiting for a long while.
Should we go?
As he says-
Should we go inside?
If it's are they like already gone, the soldiers, or how are they looking? Because then Maggie will like just try to fucking play a Song of Rest and like heal him a little bit with her music.
The watch, most of the watch leaves. They leave 2 guards to guard the front door.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 guards that are still alive, they are packing up the bodies, and they are working the rest of their shift.
So
they don't
that's
wanna
not
lose their job.
necessary.
I've been shaking the rod of immobility, trying to see if it'll do anything.
There's a button on it.
Oh. He points it at Mika and hits the button.
Okay, it becomes immovable.
Whoa. Just gonna jump on.
Is there anything else that we were told to do? Like we were told to like secure the building basically, right? Or did they take that back? Because if they didn't, then we would just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, basically, you guys, they didn't tell you to do anything. They told you that if you want to, if you're willing, you can stay here and secure the building with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Maggie's gonna do that. Not that she could actually be of good help, but she'll just feel guilty and be there.
Like they said, only crazy people would want to try to steal from this place. Normally, the doors are formidable enough to keep most thieves away, and the bells usually scare them. So they've had their run-ins, but they usually get scared because they're more intimidated from the watch than the actual guards inside.
What do you keep in here that needs this many guards?
He says, well, there's a lot of valuable stuff, and he just goes over some of the just historical relevance of some of the objects in here. He says most of the stuff belonged to ancient like manors and stuff that I don't know all the details, but just ancient buildings from the old manors, like some of these statues. And I mean, they couldn't have taken all these trophies from old houses, obviously, so they had to get new ones. I mean, so the owlbear and the boulette are pretty new. But the armors and stuff, they're all old. They're all old and ancient. They've lost most of their magic from what I've told. And our boss is trying to get them restored, but with the strange what was it? Chaos magic? They haven't been able to get anyone to do it. So he just has them on the shelves as basically museum of sorts.
It's beautiful though. At least like you can come during the day and look at them, right? And live like see how things actually were back in the day, right?
He says it's not more of a lifestyle thing. It's just more of an ode to our founders and the founding families, so to speak. It's pretty important, but I mean, I don't know. I don't study this stuff, but just from what's in here.
Yeah, and she'll just be there and like small talk with them about history and about the pieces that she knows and that she like heard in stories and stuff, and basically like entertain them as good as possible for the rest of the shift and change the minds or the thoughts, kind of.
Well, they rolled really well on their history check, so they tell you that there was once 32 families, and they all had their own armies to go against the hordes of orcs and giants and goblins. And though that was actually the easy part. And so is Mika going back inside the building, just to clarify before I go on too far?
I think she would. If it would be taking too long, she would check and see if everything's okay.
Okay, so it seems that the guards are telling her some sort of history lesson while you guys are waiting around.
I'll just knock on the door.
Okay, and the guard kind of gets up and he's like, "We're closed."
Oh no, those are my friends there.
Oh, Mika.
Hi. She'll just
Uh,
wave. She's still just. Oh, it's only her head peeking
Did
around
you-
the door.
Did you hear the commotion as well? Did you come to help us?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
well, I guess if I guess if the kobold's with you.
She's a member of the UAG as well, and a paladin of some repute.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess the more help the better. And he sits down and he's going to continue. Razbean, what are you doing, my dude, while they're getting this history lesson?
While we're cleaning up your mess.
Well, Razmin puts on his charlatan type look and whatnot, takes off his scowl of darkness, so he's looking more goodly than he normally does, and follows Mika in.
I don't
So
know
like
if
right on
they.
this.
I don't know if your memory has been erased because we specifically asked for ours, and the Blood Lord asked if our memory wanted to be erased. I don't know about you though, so fuck.
Okay, so you two head back in, and he starts going over the little history thing. And he says there once was 32 families, and although together they forced the lands out, the story really begins when they actually start building the wall. And of course, the wall has been around for hundreds of years and has always been taken apart, fixed by section, and of course, fortified over time. Now, as we all know, the wall was meant for, as we all think we know, the wall was built for giant attacks, but it was mostly to prevent the outside families from waging war against the inside families. The 7 that live inside the walls today were the 7 that pretty much built Illumina, and the other families lived outside. So although they were supposed to be equals, they never really saw it that way as they built a wall and sheltered themselves inside of it. And this caused a lot of infighting. And of course, they always banded together to face off their common threats from the other lands. It never was seen that way. And so there was a lot of infighting with the noble families, and the walls, although again for we believed for giants, was actually to prevent an outright attack from the other families. Now, they obviously had the numbers to wage that kind of war, but what they didn't have was that the noble families that ruled inside of this place had mystical and strange powers, and none of them were really explained. Magic was kind of unknown for a really long time in Lumina. At least that's what the records say. But, well, at least the records in here. We do a lot of reading because we're bored.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, what ended up happening was when infighting was bound to happen and the farmsteads started banding together to push out against or to push in to the forts and try to get their way, the families would always invoke a honor bound code of battle, whereas instead of having all of the armies fighting against each other and the bloodshed of hundreds of people on their hands, they would instead vote for a duel. And of course, the stronger families, of course, won most of these duels. And of course, there was always a lot of betrayal in some of those instances, as they know they wouldn't win, so they would wage the war anyways. And they weren't wars that lasted very long, but they were skirmishes. Essentially, men of 100 at most against the inner family, which was maybe about 60. And it's tough odds, to be sure, but like I said, the families always had some strange advantage to the others. And one of them was, of course, what somebody, I think her name was Shamala the Red. And basically, she was just this godless warrior who thrived in battle, and she would go out of her way to bathe in blood of her enemies. And she was defined as very dangerous, almost insanely reckless. But okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And he finishes up by saying she was insanely reckless, but despite how dangerous her objectives or how mad they seemed. She was always the one to take a lead on them, and she usually succeeded.
What happened to her?
She died, I think. She decided that she had enough of one of the other families, and her recklessness and hubris, I think, is what got her killed. Uh, I think she fought against Trevor the Just, and he was a holy paladin who defeated her.
Well, would we have passed by that tapestry that we originally stole but then put back?
No, it's up in the office.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There is tapestries down below, but they're
Yeah,
not
none of her.
detailed. They're not as detailed. They're kind of rugged. Like they are restored, but they still have damage to them. They're kind of going for this ancient but colorful history, so they didn't really repair them fully. Just to kind of leave a little bit of mystery.
And what happened to Trevor the Just?
Well, after he sealed her away, and it's strange how they wrote it because they just put her in a coffin and buried her. I think what ended up happening to him was he didn't leave. He tried to lead. Another war came about, and I think it was the Silver Chalice family, the Dwarven family. They used to be a mining operation out north. They still have it today, but they came to the fight for their territory inside, and he was willing to let them in because they had been making a lot of progress for their family and they were useful in the Lumina. But I guess they believed that Trevor the Just had done something wrong, and they challenged him to a duel regardless, and they ended up killing him. And that their family took his spot.
And they took the coffin as well?
No, they don't know where the coffin was. I think it was more of a case of they didn't want to know where she was buried.
And this Shamala the Red, did she leave behind a legacy? Does she have children, a husband, grandchildren, anything like that? Is her family still around in Illumina today? I've never heard of her.
No, her family is not around today. The history books say that. Well, the history books say she was tied to dark powers, and it was strange. They said that she did have a pregnancy before a war, before she became the Red, but when she became the Red, and they said that she lost the child, but they don't know what happened to it. Many presume that she sacrificed it to some sort of
That's evil.
deity for power. But my boss doesn't think that's the case. He thinks something else happened.
What does he think happened?
Oh, some strange theory that she would have turned into a vampire, and that she lusted for blood because not only was she thirsting for it, but she was also seeking revenge against those who turned her.
So she would evidently go against Trevor the Just and his family, right? I mean, that's what I would do.
Well, I think from what they said is Trevor had a problem with her, not the other way around. I think she just said that I think the history books suggest that she had enough of his persecution, and challenged him to a duel to kind of end the whole ordeal.
Hmm.
Alternatively, there's other sources that says she was just bored, but because there wasn't a lot of fighting going on at the time, so
That's really interesting. And is there any other family like she specifically I don't know how to say that, opposed or
well, I mean, most of the families opposed her. Like I said, everyone
no, the other
assumed.
way around. Like that she really hated basically.
No, from my understanding, she really likes Illumina. Or sorry, I should say liked. She really liked Illumina, and that she struggled. Well, I mean, of course, if she didn't believe in it, she wouldn't have fought as crazily as she did, I would think. Despite her supposed transformations and her insanity, she fought for Illumina through and through, from at least what I read.
You are a well-informed man. Thank you so much for sharing all this knowledge with us.
He says, "Well, my boss, it's kind of a topic of his. He's researching Illumina history."
Who is your boss, if you don't mind me asking?
He says, Gerard. He's kind of an entrepreneur, but you may know him as the more famous bard from the college that's in the city. He's not the guild leader. The guild leader is obviously busy planning, parades and stuff and festivals. But I think he's somewhere in the between. Well traveled, but decided to settle in Illumina as its history is rich. And he seems to draw a lot of inspiration from their struggles.
I can see that. History is always really exciting and gives us an interesting point of view, and leaves a lot of space for creativity and imagination.
Yeah.
And a hint of truth.
Well, he doesn't believe that entirely, but he's trying to get as close to the truth as he can. Or at least still make an interesting song. At least that's what he says.
Yeah, history is always written by the winners, so I guess we'll never find out.
He looks around and he says, 3 dragons ante?
I'll play you.
I don't play. Thank you.
He says, no bother.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime.
He says, well, we're going to be here all night, so.
It's a night shift.
Oh, we gotta stay.
Yeah, and we volunteered to stay and guard with them because they just had a fucking very traumatic day. So, yes.
Sure, teach me how to play then.
Okay, so basically you kind of have mixed feelings about this game because the rules are that each number on the card is how many points you get during a game, and it's mixed matched between chromatic dragons and metallic dragons. So every time you draw chromatic dragons, you have a bad smell. You're like, ugh.
I spit on the card.
He says, hey.
Sorry, Bahamut.
He says, well, maybe it's better you don't play then. And he kind of cleans the card off.
I'm gonna put the card down. I don't like this game.
And
how many people can play this game?
He says up to 6.
Well then, maybe I'll give it a try.
And so,
come on, Lyra, you went in too.
I mean, we're gonna be here all night.
I've got better uses for my money. I'll just play while you play. And she'll pull out her lyre and start just strumming very lightly, very softly.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so the game's pretty simple to play. Each card has powers, and except for the the chromatic and metallic dragons, they they are just points, and you win by getting the most points at the end of a round. And I'm not gonna have you guys roll. They're not gonna take your money because you need to be focusing on security, obviously.
Right.
So the morning comes around, and the captain comes back and with Gerard, and Gerard's looking at the mess. And he's like, "What the hell?" And he's looking at the steel gates at the top of the stairs. He's like, "What the heck?" And he's looking them over. He's like, "On the inside, oh man, and the floor, that was mahogany."
I
he's
haven't
like-
seen the roof yet.
And he's looking at his office door, and he's like, "My door."
Oh
And he's
no.
looking at the door, and he's like, and he's looking at the office door, and he's like, looking into the room. He's like, "My carpet."
Not even the bodies, the carpet.
Well,
No,
moved
they're gone.
They moved the bodies away.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "And my desk, and why is my armor open, and my window?"
Oh
And
no.
he's like, "Oh my god!"
It was
And
his
he runs
study.
into his collection room, and he's like, "Why is there a whole roof? My roof!" And he runs into this, and he starts searching his stuff, and he's like, "Oh no!" And he says, he's looking it over. He's like, "That's not good." And he's looking over the box, and he says, "How did that even move?"
Is
And
there something wrong? Well, besides the obvious, sir.
Well, he'll come down to meet you, and he's like, "Well, besides all the property damage, he scratches the back of his head, and then all my alarms are gone, and everything seems to be torn up. No, nothing's wrong. Just a something I had ordered in. I found in a ruin lately. I had collected and put in a crate and brought it up into my collection room. So I was going to look at it later.
What was it?
It was a kind of like a flowery soldier. It caught my attention while we were looking through the ruins. And it had magical abilities. I could feel the magic from it. So I had it brought into my collection room so I could
Mhm.
examine it later. But as it turns out, it's gone. It had a it was looking rather flowery, had a strange, I would say, spear on its back, but it didn't look like some sort of weapon, maybe a staff. And it had what looked like a fist-sized hole in its chest, and it's gone.
Wait. Let me get this correct. You went into a tomb, you found a magical statue of something that you had no idea why it was there. You brought it back here to try and study it. Before you could study it, you decided to leave and just leave it in just your normal room.
Maybe
And
that's what caused all this
have
damage.
Have you never read a book? You're a bard. You should know that this is no shit. Every story starts out like this. Oh, I'm just
No
going
shit.
to go over here and then I'll. Who's to say that this thing didn't just wake up or something and start smashing things? You gotta take precautions.
Lyra has a valid point. That is very dangerous. Monuments to play with.
It's just, first of all, it was petrified. I don't know how someone would unpetrify it or how it would even come to life. So I don't know how it happened. And even if I did, I wouldn't have done it, or I'm assuming. So I was assuming it was safe in my museum, which I have obviously hired guards and had plenty of security to keep it in place. And it's
Maybe
pretty
you
close
had
to the barracks. So I
Maybe
thought,
you had
my
Okay.
alarms would be heard by the guard as well, which clearly they are because they're here. Thank the gods, but they weren't. But I wasn't expecting steel doors and pitfalls and whatever else damage has occurred. Apparently, whoever broke in here knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe one of your guards were looking at it and did something.
Yes, they were looking at it in a sealed crate. It would have taken 2 ogres to open that thing.
Look,
Mika's just
I'm
gonna shut up.
just saying that this, whatever it is, clearly is that the only thing that was taken of value? Like, how long ago did you get this? Just the other night? It seems rather coincidental that, one night it's there and then the next night it's gone. It
No,
just
it's
seems
been
to me
here for about a week.
for a week. Oh, okay. Well,
And he's like, no, I haven't even checked to see if anything else was stolen. And he goes up to his office again, and you can hear him searching for stuff.
Oh no, your boss is not pleased. I understand, but yeah, we were
So-
just too late.
Do you guys wait?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
We don't want to look suspicious.
No,
I don't-
No, that's not my reason.
Lyra and Maggie don't know you've stolen anything. Only Mika knows that you took stuff, but she
Yeah.
doesn't know that it's stolen yet.
So the eventually Gerard starts heading back down, and the captain says, "Do you want any gold for your service? I brought
No.
200 gold just in case."
Maggie declines it and puts it back. Like, that gold should go into your friend's funeral. I'm really sorry that this happened to you.
Well, that was the captain.
Oh well, still, she's declining it into
I think
your
it needs to go
your
to repairing
soldier's
the
funeral.
building.
He says, "Well, we aren't really involved with dealing with property damage, but if you want me to give him the reward, then by all means." And Gerard comes back down and he hands him the gold, and Gerard's a little confused, and he's like, "The adventurers wanted you to have it." And
Yeah, we
Gerard
didn't really
says,
do anything other than just hang out and play cards.
Gerard's like, "Yeah, that sounds believable." And he takes the gold and he's like, "Thanks, Captain." And thanks, I guess, for the donation. It will probably pay for 1/5 of everything that's missing.
It's not meant to pay for things that's missing. What it's meant for is to help your men, your soldiers that you had guarding here. A bunch of them passed in this fight, and it should go to them, to their families, and
Give
if
them a
that-
dignified funeral.
yeah.
Well, then that's where I will be spending my money, because he kind of looks over and he says, "I totally forgot that they were. Oh, this is messed up. I'm missing magical items too. God damn it."
Magical items? What items?
He's like, well, you guys might know. I'm missing. He says, "I'm missing a Kyotum's ointment. It's just something that you rub on your skin and it cures poisons, diseases, stuff like that. I keep it in my office just in case I get something from my collection."
Yeah, that makes sense.
He says, "I also had gloves of climbing and swimming, because sometimes I like to go hiking or I need to go hiking. I wasn't going to use them. I was going to use them for something I'm planning next week, but I left them here and now they're gone." And then he says, and the other one was a rod of immovability.
Mika's ears are just gonna perk up.
He says, "I don't know why someone would do any of this. Like, what the hell?"
Wow, look at this bear thing over here.
Is there anything we can do to, I don't know, yeah, like compensation? I don't have enough gold to compensate you for those items, which you clearly had like also some sort of functional and emotional how do you say that?
Attachment.
Bound or something, yeah. So if I come across any of those items, I will bring them to you. And if I find out who that is or who that took, I will make sure you get them back. If that's within my possibility and my abilities. Capabilities, that's the word I was looking for.
He says, I just honestly, I'm not even really worried about them. I'm just worried about where that statue went, because if it is up and alive, I'm very worried for the local population.
Do you have any idea from what you studied that if it could have come alive, if there's any possibility or what it might be if it did come alive?
Well, from what I've read, they come to life when they are introduced to a lot of blood or some sort of substitute for blood. Now, I don't know how any of it would have been introduced to the creature. I actually shouldn't just say creature. It's a lot worse than that. It's a vampire. It's a breed of vampire that has been dormant for hundreds of years.
A vampire? Oh no.
I thought those
Yeah.
existed only in stories.
It says, well, they're real, and now there's one in Illumina.
Wait, you said a different breed. What do you mean a different breed of vampire? I thought all vampires were very similar, just depending on their strength.
He says, well, of course, the typical vampire that we know in this day and age is a lot like what you read in the stories. They can't cross rivers. They hate the smell of garlic. Stake to the heart while they're in the coffin paralyzes them. Yeah, basic information and fables. And I'm gonna bite your neck now. That's all pretty
Blah blah
accurate.
blah.
Yeah. And of course, those vampires have their own risks, but they're a little more cunning and evasive. If we had one in Illumina, I'm sure we'd know, or at least the city would know.
Right.
These vampires, on the other hand, they are very. How should I say this? They're a bit more. They're more manipulative, and they don't. They need more blood than a traditional vampire. From what I've read, in order to keep themselves functioning and not petrifying, they need to bathe in blood, and their bodies absorb it. It's kind of like plants to water, and the blood, and they don't just use water because the blood is infused with magic, which is what they need to remain active.
That's horrible. That is such a danger. Why did you? I mean, I know for research purposes and all, but that was a real big danger to bring here in the first place.
He says, I didn't think, again, I made sure that thing was locked tight.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it, from what I read, it takes at least 3 people to be bleeding around it in a ritualistic pool. I didn't know that it could be turned on just by, well, I don't even know how it turned on.
You've not read of another
A lot of
way.
blood in here.
He says, I mean, in theory, you could maybe use a creature's blood that has more magical energy in it, but where would you even find one of those? I mean, there's monsters outside all over the place, but I mean, to go out of your way to hunt them down, drain their blood, and then put it in some sort of container to keep, and then break in here and somehow break through that crate and put it in the creature, that's
It's all sounding very improbable.
Yeah.
it's sounding nearly impossible.
Well, this is not going to help us anyway. The question is, what are we going to do about it?
He says, well, I don't know how well the he says, I guess if it's around, I'm gonna have to put a mark on it with the Thieves Guild, and hopefully they find it and put it away. I'll have to put out as much information as I can about it and try to find some sort of weakness that they have.
I know vampires tend to always lean towards evil. Are these creatures the same way? Are they? I know you said they drink blood. Do they kill the victims always?
It doesn't say they have to, but I don't know. It doesn't say they do.
Will it attack the people of Illumina, or can it feed off animals or other, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if it's going to be hostile and if it's going to be dangerous to the population.
Yeah, but could I make a, like, I don't know, religion or something like that? I don't know. A religion or history, see if I read anything about it.
You can roll me both if you want. He just shakes his head and he says, I wouldn't know. I would assume that if they wanted to avoid killing people, they would have to double up on bodies. So in order to just feed one of these things, you would need to have 6 people at the ready.
Do they have the same weaknesses as your normal everyday vampire? Daylight, rivers, stakes?
Holy
No,
water.
They aren't as strong physically. They're more magically inclined, which is why they depend more on blood than the others. From what I read, they don't have many of the same weaknesses. They don't draw power from the sun like their plant-like form might suggest, but they aren't vulnerable to it. They can walk in the daytime if they want, but I would assume that even they would know that they would be hunted if they were to just walk around.
Interesting. Well, I will definitely let others know at the UAG that there's a potential that this is either out or that somebody took this thing in the attempts of waking it. And we'll have the rest of the UAG on high alert for it. But
yes, thank you. If it's alive and you find it, I would like you to put it back into its dormant state by restraining it. But if you have to kill it, then by all means.
well, if it's a danger and if it's in the middle of Illumina, I imagine trying to restrain it without killing it is not going to be our number one priority.
Well, I'm not sure. They inherit things. They inherit some traits and personalities from the blood that they drink, from what I understand. But I'm assuming that there was a lot of blood involved. Typically, they always lean towards evil, like their undead brethren.
Just out of character for a second, I'm so glad that thing didn't drink Razbean's blood. Oh my god, if we had another Razbean running around.
Oh my god.
He says, well, I should at least thank you for staying here. But seeing as you just want me to make sure their families are treated well, I will do at least that.
Thank you.
And he pulls out a quill and puts it on his to-do list. And he says, I have a lot of things to do. Try to find who stole my stuff and trying to figure out who released this thing. I'll probably be hiring you guys again soon to figure those out.
Well,
You know where to find us.
yeah, I'll be willing to help.
Well, again, thank you for protecting what's left.
We tried.
Okay, so you guys head back to the UAG.
Yeah.
On the way, I'm gonna freaking kick Razbean.
Miko, what are you doing?
You know why?
What?
Razbean, take out your bag. Empty your bag.
No.
Empty it!
No.
What's going on?
He took those items.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Razbean,
Yeah.
empty your bag.
I don't want to empty my bag. That's a lot of stuff in there.
Take those items out that you stole and you bring them back right now.
The soldier said I could have them.
No soldier said that you could have them. I'm pretty sure no one. You. Are you aware that you killed people?
I didn't kill nobody.
Well, who was that then? What was that? This blue thing?
He looks to Lyra. Should I tell him what that was?
That was his pet Jin.
A djinn?
A what?
It's a genie.
And yeah, I know. I've heard stories about djinns. And do you see what damages you've done? Like
I
mean,
told
it's
him
your
not
pet,
to hurt
but
him.
it's still your fault. It's still your responsibility. Now take those items and bring them back.
Well, I'll give them to you since you said you'd bring them back. I'm not going back.
Well, I'm going to take those items and I'm going to take you and we'll go back.
He dodges
And you're going to be sorry.
Razbean darts out of her way.
Okay, you're gonna just run away.
Well, I mean, he holds stuff at length where she could reach it, but he darts back before she can grab him.
Okay.
Although he's keeping a hold of the rod. Just he doesn't want to give that up.
Look, Razbean. How about we just have a nice song to
Relax.
To
and
relax.
calm down the emotions.
yes. Lyra will start playing for him. And if he listens for a minute, he's gonna have to make a saving throw.
Yeah.
A saving throw against what?
Wisdom.
I'm told-
PvP. PvP.
I got a 17.
Just barely.
No. You can have these. And he hands her the gloves and the healing item. And he darts back.
Did you throw them on the ground?
Your hands were out, weren't they?
Well, yeah.
Trying to take them from me?
Yeah,
So basically, I drop them in your hands and I dart back.
So does she have them now or not?
You have the gloves of climbing and swimming, and you have a healing salve or whatever it's called.
All right. So this is proof enough. I have 3 witnesses and you just stated that you stole those items. And I'm going to go back to Gerard and I'm going to tell him. And if there's going to be a bounty on your head, so be it.
Oh shit.
And you can avoid all this if you come with me or with us and take him back and be, for once, a real man.
Oh god.
I'm not a man. I'm a halfling.
Pulling out the man card.
Well, he pulls out the rod and goes to hand it to her and hits the button that hopefully she can't see.
She'll
And
take
lets
it.
go.
She'll take it and try to like move.
Okay, you try to move it, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Has Lyra seen an immovable rod? Would she know how to unmove it?
I mean, there's only one button on it. So.
well, I mean, you have to know that there's a button on it. So
Do you?
roll Arcana.
Mika was playing with it earlier.
Oh yeah.
Before she knew it was stolen.
Yeah. So Mika, you would know.
I poked the button with my rapier.
Okay. It
Ah,
dislodges and becomes usable.
Well, thank you, Resby. That's one step to becoming a better person. And now accompany us back and say you're sorry.
that crossed
And
my
I
arms. I'm
mean,
not doing that.
Resby, we have caused this man so much trouble already. People have died. You have destroyed his house, his home, his study, everything that he's built up so far. And now you don't have the balls to go back and say you're sorry.
He doesn't know it's us. Why do we want to emulate it's the
Because
UGA?
he's gonna be on a goose hunt or whatever the word is for that, and he's gonna be chasing after
Oh.
Phantom forever.
Not when
Sounds
he-
right.
And I'm not gonna just know that it was you and play along. That is just wrong.
Well, you're returning the stuff, so the only thing he's going to be worried about is where the hell that damn thing went.
Right, and he doesn't know that it was you. So, maybe for your own safety, you want to hold this gin back, since obviously you can't control it, and maybe even bury it somewhere where no one can ever find it again. Because apparently,
Jesus Christ.
apparently, this is not one of your strengths. So, get moving.
Nope.
Well,
He stands as firm as he possibly can.
I'm hoping I can count on you to help me with this. And she looks like to Mika and Lyra. Well, if you don't change your mind, we're just gonna have to take you. And was it the new Dawn? It was Dawn, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We
it's
stayed
morning.
overnight. Okay, so then
Like he's going to believe I was able to open that crate by myself.
Say again?
No, you had a big old genie.
You don't know that. You can't make me make it come out.
Well, maybe you snuck in after you saw it was destroyed and you just took it because you're a petty thief. That's what you can't say. You don't have to say that was your Ginny or anything like that. That's like the least that we can
Petty.
expect from you. Yes, very petty.
Okay, we're gonna go on with this for a bit, and then we're gonna move on.
Right. So,
So-
anyone gonna help me?
No, it's basically you can go, you can choose to go or not.
Yeah, I'm not going back there.
Okay.
Well, then I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna go back to the place with the items.
No, let's just end this soon because I have things to prep for.
Okay.
So, you guys head back to the UG. Obviously, a little conflicted with each other, and you hear about the funerals that are coming about, and they're not large scale, but the families are kind of plan on grouping together from what you guys know. You guys obviously get one experience, and the reward for your service, you guys kind of messed up pretty bad, and the Bloodlord repaid you by, not by removing any trace that you were there, at least through eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
So one experience. I'll give you guys one inspiration for all the roleplay. As for the shifts in alignment, I'm gonna say that Mika, you're moving you moving up towards. You're gonna be staying the same. So
Okay.
you're not gonna move towards lawful, but you're still good.
Okay, thank God. That was what I was worried about. I'm like, oh no.
Razbean.
Chaotic
Razbean,
neutral.
you are going to be pushing the boundaries towards neutral, and you're also going to be pushing the boundaries going towards evil.
Mm.
So you're another game of with evil actions that will push you to being neutral evil. Well,
Gotcha.
sorry, being chaotic evil. And if you do more actions that are considered lawful, you'll be pushed towards doing neutral evil if both of them go up at the same time.
Okay.
Lyra, yours was kind of unintentional. It was
Yeah.
kind of meant to deter them, and well, they fell right for it. You didn't expect how weak they are. You're
Yeah.
still gonna take a small hit towards being evil because
Yeah.
they did end up dying, but your other alignment isn't gonna change because you ended up just kind of backing off this whole mission entirely once they started getting hurt and killed over it.
Yeah.
And Maggie, what's your alignment?
Lawful good.
Okay, you're going to remain at this spot. Because you advocated for people's safety. You tried to heal some of the damage that you did. And although this is considerably an unlawful mission, you did everything you can to not commit any like other crimes. Breaking on a cosmological scale, breaking and entering is not even considered a crime. So
And I brought the tapestry back.
yeah, so you're not gonna be shifting anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Okay. And is there any way for me that I can bring back the items? Because I would.
You'd have to steal them from Razbean.
Well, he gave them to me.
Well, I
Like
gave them to her.
she's holding
Oh.
them.
Okay, so you can take them back on your own if you want.
Yeah, well, we don't have to play that out now if you have to go. But she would definitely not go alone because that would make her, I don't know, that would probably be wrong, but she would take like the witnesses.
Mika would go too.
Lyra, go.
Okay, so you three take the items back to him, and he asks you, like, did you find he's assuming that you're good here, although the way he talks to you, he's assuming that you're good and you didn't steal these.
Mhm.
But he's definitely giving you the look like you did, and he says, "So you found them?"
Yeah.
And I guess you won't tell me who had them.
Well, we found them. So, well, give me a second here. On our way back, on our way to the place, we would have probably talked about the story that we're going to sell him, right? So, and I would probably be for selling out Rasbean because that is, but at the same time, I really don't want him to have a bounty on his head. That was kind of a bluff. But,
Then you can just say no. Like you can say you caught the thief, and he died fighting for it. This stuff.
well, well, if we all agree on the story, then I would just go ahead and try to deceive him at this point, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Again, he takes the stuff back and he examines them all, and he says, "Well, this is mine, so that's good." And he says, I'm wondering if you're expecting some sort of reward."
No.
Mm. Mm-mm.
And he says, "Well, then I guess I'll leave that off my list of things to tell the Thieves Guild. And he takes out his scroll and writes it off. And he looks to you guys, you three, and he says, I will be sure to have them not investigate you for anytime soon.
Thank you, and I hope you'll be able to restore your museum.
He says, yes, it shouldn't be too much. I do sit on quite a bit of wealth. However, it's going to be hard for me to get security just for a while, especially after this incident.
Alright.
Yeah,
And-
so you guys leave him to his issues.
Demise.
And again, that's more of a lawful good response. So, Clack, or not Clack,
Clack.
I'm tired. Mika, you're still well in the chaotic range, but you're going to be just kind of pushed up a bit towards lawful.
Okay, that's fine.
And
I mean, as long as we're good, we're good.
Yeah.
so with that, that's pretty much the game. So I'll thank you all for playing early in such short notice.
No, thank you for the game.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
for DMing.
God, stressful.
Not the route I was trying to go, but hey, it worked. Ish.
No.
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 I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.